Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brew-Built X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brew-Built Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brew-Built line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brew-Built X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brew-Built Conicals. You can trust Brew-Built with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brew-Built at morebeer.com.
Today's Sunday session is brought to you thanks to the fine folks at More Beer. Visit them right now at morebeer.com.
Feels like work. Shooting the shit for 2 hours, drinking beer and talking beer. What a wonderful experience.
Can we not have the barf bucket near my mixing board?
I think everybody could read the book.
I knew you were going to use this book as an excuse to quit doing this show.
Mrs. Bub, if you want, I can mail you the Bub Timer.
Yeah, Newcastle, especially in the can. Have you ever had it in the can? No, I have not had it in the can.
Notice I closed my eyes and I concentrated really hard.
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Well, hello. My name's Justin Crossley, and I am still alive.
Pleased to meet you.
People were cashing in on the death pool.
It was dicey there for a while.
I'd like to welcome you to our little show. I think you'll fit right in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've heard good things about it. And, yeah. Here I am, and not sick. So
nice.
That's good. Even the last
officially,
even the last few times I've been here, I was still pretty sick. But.
I mean,
you got both your feet still.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're not sick, but I'm a little disappointed. I had this long conversation with our friend Dave from Flat Tail about how he was going to brew a Justin Crossley memorial beer.
Oh, I would have loved that.
I know.
We should just do that anyway every year. But that's what we should do instead of like the Spring Fest. It's the Justin Crossley Memorial Beer Festival, and we'll drag you out to just thank everybody for coming.
Yeah, total Weekend at Bernie's me. Just put me on a dolly and roll me up on the stage.
No, I mean, before you're even dead.
Oh, I know.
Just pre-planning. Yeah.
I just can barely move.
Oh, no.
Anyway.
I knew where we were going with that.
Yeah. Thank you for the warm welcome. It's nice to be back in the studio. I went through, I basically have been sick since January.
Since birth.
And they put me on antibiotics, and they put me on this, and they put me on that. And ultimately, they ran out of things to do. Some people were starting to think I had tuberculosis. Which I didn't actually get tested for.
What was the coughing up blood thing?
There was nothing like that. The coughing was bad, but there was no blood. And
fraternizing with unvaccinated people.
Yeah. Well, the doctor ended up putting me on a gnarly dose of steroids. She just said, we're just going to put you on another bout of antibiotics and a crap load of steroids. And I mean a lot.
That's why you're looking extra ripped today.
Well, yeah, I'm a juice head now. Well...
What do you mean?
It's just about to rip right off.
There are a lot of side effects to the steroids.
You were warned.
There's definitely some rage that happens, but there's also other things like mania, suicidal thoughts.
Really?
Oh, yeah, there's a long list. And those are all, by the way, at doses of about a third of what I was taking.
Wow.
All right.
So I'm glad I get that
insurance policy.
In the beginning, I was already having the night sweats. In the beginning, beginning, I was taking 12 pills a day of just the...
dude.
But let me tell you that. So I'm off them now. You then have to wean off of them to reduce the
withdrawal?
Which can be severe.
Right. Did Kate have to hide all your guns?
It's not even withdrawal. It's actually like very detrimental to your health to just stop them.
Right.
Like you could die.
Oh.
So I took my last pill. Took my last pill Saturday, and I had been feeling better, for days before that. Even it worked very, very quickly, which was good.
Nice.
The one side effect they didn't tell me about that was fantastic was energy like a motherfucker. I was doing 10 things at once all day, every day. I was focused, and I had said before. When I'd been sick, that I actually couldn't remember what it was like to, for one, not be sick, and I couldn't remember what it was like to have energy. I had just been working under a cloud of fatigue for, it seems like, months.
Yeah.
Man, they were fucking fantastic for that. Well, wouldn't you know it, I'm tired as fuck today. I'm like ready to call the doctor and be like, hey, can we just put me on like a steady regimen? Like I'm a juice head now.
Yeah, that's your thing. Everyone has a thing. That's your thing. We'll do podcasts about it. It'll be great.
Yes.
We can get them on the street. Don't worry about it.
Okay, because it was really good. Boy, did I get stuff done. And
my brother lives close to Mexico.
Okay.
Just check over the border for you.
I mean, it's a very standard steroid. Not hard to come by.
Apparently.
Oh, that side effect was really fantastic.
Yeah, well, that's good. I thought you were going to say you had an extra limber butthole or something.
I have not noticed any shrinkage in the balls, although I would have welcomed it.
Just tighten them up a little bit.
Who
bro.
needs these saggy things?
Right.
Yeah, it was like I figured it was like a ball lift, but no,
You don't
I
have
didn't.
back problems later.
Yeah, exactly.
How's your home run swing? Pretty good? I mean, you hit more home runs?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man. Yeah. I did a little. I hit the driving range. I'm knocking them out of the park down there.
Is that porn? Is the driving range?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel better. I feel good. I'm happy to be back,
good to hear.
and
Good.
hopefully it'll stay away. I guess if I actually do have tuberculosis, it'll come back pretty quickly. But I don't think
Never
that's the
went
case.
away.
Are we all in danger? Should you be broadcasting from Bebo's booth, and should we be here?
If that's what I would have had, or for some reason still, I really don't think that's the case, then yeah, I actually would have been putting all of you in danger.
Good. God bless.
It is a highly contagious, but...
Spitting in the beers isn't good either.
So we'll have our own hospital wing soon?
I think so. The BN hospital wing.
Right.
That'll be a fucking fun wing.
Yeah.
We ought to get that going before me and Tasty head downhill.
The infirmary.
minutes. I mean, time.
It's not the B&R Army, it's the B&R Infirmary.
Yes.
Oh, they're putting the yellow tape right outside this window, I tell you.
The big red X on the door. Oh my God, we'd have to live here, dude. We would all have to. That's a fucking reality show.
They would.
The five of us. The six of us.
In what is this studio? It's like 10 by 10?
Yeah. In here for what, a month until symptoms show? Maybe. I don't know. Sure.
Yeah.
I would literally not leave this room.
I think that'd be amazing. God, that'd be amazing.
It would be.
It really would. Get Orkin on the phone,
Horrible.
goddammit.
It would be something.
Yeah.
Well, the other side effect, and I didn't really have to do this, I just figured, okay, while I'm at it, and I already feel like shit anyway.
Yeah.
I quit drinking, too, during the whole time. And I realized I haven't not drank for this amount of time since I was like 12 years old. I had to do that math and really realize I'm not exaggerating. I think it's been since I was 12 that I've gone several weeks without...
Couldn't find anybody to buy your beer?
I just figured, look, I was already having the liver enzyme issue. I solved the B12 issue. The supplements worked. I don't have to go for B12 shots. My B12's back up. Nice. But I just figured, look, I'm on this path. Why don't I try to nip everything in the bud here while I'm at it, and then come back. I had a beer on Saturday.
What'd you have
after my last pill?
What'd you have?
The Pivo.
What broke the ice?
What did I have? You know what? I just had a good old Mission Street Pale Ale is what I had.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
It was in the fridge.
Back to basics.
Kate the Great's been loving it because a lot of times, she'll bring home a six-pack in the hopes that she gets a beer out of the deal.
Yeah.
And that never really happens. I drink it before. Well, she was buying a six-pack. It lasts 2 weeks, so we saved some money.
That's one good side effect.
Yeah. So my hope is, the liver enzymes are a little back in check. I got the B12 sorted out. And then the big thing was just the sickness that was just bad. And seems to be all right. We'll see.
All right.
So then another 25 years, we'll try another few weeks of no drinking.
Does this move you down the list?
I don't know that. I wouldn't
Does it dethrone you off the top?
It's like trying to predict the market, right? Like little news like this might change things a little. I wouldn't move me too quickly. I just finished the meds this weekend.
Yeah, I don't think so. I still think he's still going to continue to make poor decisions. Like last week, I texted him and I was like, "Hey, how's it going? How you feeling?" And he was like, "I feel terrible, but I'm going to be there." And I literally had to call him and mom him into not coming and not doing the show because of how terrible and sick he was. So
it's true. And I was going to come do the show, and here's why. You guys have been doing a great job. I had no problems with that. I just was feeling guilty. I didn't want you guys to be like, what the fuck with Justin again? And like, I was really kind of beating myself up. I was like, I got to go do the show. It doesn't matter if I'm sick. And
I was like, no, you don't.
Bevo's the one. And I was like, okay, but please just tell the guys that I'm really sick. Like, I'm not over here fucking around.
Yeah. And then you hung up and you're like, all right, body shots. I played this. Remember when you used to call into work, sick to work? I can't, like... I really feel bad. My voice is coming in and out, and I just can't.
Yeah. It was a smart move. I think I slept for like 14 hours that day. And
that's usual, though.
13. So I got extra.
Sorry. All right, yeah. Got it.
Gonna masturbate for an hour.
Well, that's good. Good to hear. Good to hear you're getting back on the horse to pour more liquor into your body to deteriorate it even further.
That's right. But now I have a new set of tools. I'm on these, whatever the pills that the guy got mad at me about, the milk thistle and all that.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'm like maintaining the liver. I do have to take the vitamin B12 every day for the rest of my life.
Oh, you do?
Like, I cannot mess around with that.
Okay.
That's a very serious thing. Like, but I looked at my test scores or whatever they're called.
Just results. Results is fine.
I'm back in the B+ range.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
God bless.
I like to be in the A range. What are you going to do?
Hey, you're done.
Take vitamin A.
Yeah.
C is average. Just be happy with C.
Like, that's a thing now forever. And we have to monitor it because if ever I stop absorbing that again, I have to do like the monthly injections.
Welcome to my life.
I'll inject you.
I always want to call it necrophilia, but that's not what it is.
The necrophilia is still intact. The neuropathy.
But also the necrophilia.
The neuropathy is still an issue. The doctor has said give it another couple months because she hasn't lost hope that could still come back, or the feeling or whatever. But she said to call her if it doesn't. So I don't know. I'm just waiting to see. It's not so. It's improved, but it's not great. I'm like a fucking old man now, just walking around with my sore feet.
Is AARP coming at your door yet?
Pretty much. Well, and I thought for Kate, like it's probably time to get some life insurance, But now I feel like I'm too late. Yeah, now it's all on record that I got these issues.
I think you might be fine.
Should have gotten it a year ago
because I think you can get it for self-employed.
Okay.
Folks, like I got it, and the only requirement was that I didn't have super high cholesterol, so I had to drive my cholesterol down.
Okay,
and then it was fine. But even then, like at 220 or whatever, it was. They still issued me the thing, so I'm like, oh, great.
I should probably look into it.
Yeah, you should.
They usually ask you a question. When's the last time you were seen by a doctor?
Yeah.
Did they ask you that?
Oh, fuck! This was like 4 years ago.
Did. That's what they're going to ask him. What's he going to say?
Yeah.
Well, I'm like,
like every day.
Which time?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
which doctor?
You don't have any lingering issues except that you take vitamin. You have to take a vitamin supplement, and then there you go.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's worth looking at. Maybe
your
I'll
liver
let a little.
Enzymes are all out of whack.
It's free,
and I don't know that because we haven't retested. I'm just assuming. She basically told me like if you stop the drinking the way you are, the liver enzymes will settle down. The reason that they're there is because they're elevated, and you're putting them to work, so they stay up there. So I think I guess I'm just going to assume for now that because I chilled out, But at any given moment, they'll certainly go back, same as the rest of you. Like when we go away to a beer festival for a weekend, you could be certain that your liver enzymes are elevated when you come home. The question is whether or not you give them time to settle back down, and that's just something I don't generally do.
Yeah. Well, milk thistle.
Hey, man.
The homeopathic medicine of the future.
Don't say that. He doesn't like that.
He's
not homeopathic.
He's going to get mad.
I don't like it either.
Daddy's going to get mad.
You just got to milk the thistle every now now and then.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll sting you.
Watch out. Sometimes it sprays a little bit.
Thistles are overrated.
There's something else in there, too. He's going to get mad at me that I didn't say all the things.
I'm sure he is.
Whatever. That's good stuff.
It's fine. You don't even remember his name, so it's all right.
The guy.
The homeopathic.
The
doctor guy.
He's not on steroids
Doctor
anymore.
the guy.
All right.
David Avocado Wolf.
So I'm happy to be here, and I would like to thank our sponsor, More Beer, for sponsoring this show and every session that we do. They've been doing it for a long time, and keeping me alive, really. I would
there
say,
you go.
In some way.
Yeah.
And we got a great show planned for you today. We've got Basqueland Brewing Project from Spain on the program.
Really excited.
A cool brewery, and I think we get to learn something about the Spanish brew scene, craft beer scene. So we'll be talking to Ben Matz. He's their brewer over there. Sounds like they're kind of living the dream over there, like surfing around Spain and France. And
dude, that sounds amazing.
Right?
Yeah. I don't even surf or like French
but
people.
It just sounds good.
Yeah. It sounds good.
It still sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, we've covered a lot of like the northern part of Europe. We'd like talk like the Norwegian beer scene and a lot of the English brew scene, but we haven't really kind of been down in the Spanish area. So
I think you're
I'm
right.
kind of stoked about it.
I feel like I've mistaken some Brazilian brewers we've talked to for Spanish brewers before, but doesn't mean we've actually talked to Spanish brewers.
What a jerk.
Like, that's actually Portuguese I'm speaking.
I think I was like, oh, is it time for a siesta? And they're like,
hey, where's your sombrero, amigo?
I love tacos.
Yeah. And they're like, dude, I have a PhD. Fuck off.
I know. And I just always say, I know. I'm the idiot. So we'll be talking to Basqueland in just a few minutes.
Awesome.
In fact, I got a lot to get through, so we can get him on the line here. It's late there.
I believe it's early there.
It's early there. Okay.
Almost 4.
All right, let me get through this. We can do announcements and feedback real quick. Spring Brews Festival is this Saturday, April 1st. Tickets are on sale now. I do recommend buying your tickets early. It looks like we might sell out this year, so I don't want anybody showing up on the day of and getting butthurt.
And then I have to send you away.
Tickets. Yeah, so it's easy.
Escorted away.
Just go to bnbrewfest.com. And a lot of great breweries are going to be there. We've got 60 breweries lined up, which is more than we've ever had. The park is going to be full with breweries, including one of my favorites, Drake's Brewing Company. They will be there, and they're also a sponsor of our soundstage. That's right. Which is, they've been doing that for years, and this is a big deal. We cover all the costs for the fest, as best we can for with sponsors. The entertainment is a significant cost, and then that allows us to donate more money to the nonprofit who we are supporting, which is the Toto Santos Business Association. They also bring music to the park all year long, or all summer long, I should say.
Yeah, Drake's is a really popular regional brand, so when they have their banner up there on the stage, it just fits right in.
Yeah, and you know what, John, I was just talking about this to somebody the other day. John Martin, he's the owner of Drake's and Triple Rock and Jupiter, and he is one of my favorite entrepreneurs in this business, and he's such a smart guy. They just expanded Triple Rock. I got to see it for the first time the other day down in Berkeley there, and I just really love that guy. Not only is he really smart with the things he does, but he's such a supporter of craft beer, and he's the guy who shows up and he doesn't. No one knows who he is. He doesn't want any attention. Like, he's not out there to. He's not like me. He's like, hey, let's. He's just. He goes out to support whatever's happening. He came to our grand opening here at the Hop Grenade. And anyhow, I just wanted to shout out to Drake's for being another sponsor of the Spring Brews Festival. Go to bnbrewfest.com and get your tickets today. I highly recommend that you do that. We've also got a VIP event happening right here at the Hop Grenade, and you can get tickets to that for $35. You get, I think it's like 6 or 8 pours of beer that we've been saving up all year for this event. Plus, we've got Whole Foods coming in and bringing artisan cheese, charcuterie. I think there's some salad because it's like the pre-party.
Is it artisan salad?
It's artisan salad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Artesian salad?
It's artesian.
Both.
Wow.
It's from an artesian well.
It's from Artesa.
Yeah.
It came from the earth?
Yeah.
Came from the earth?
Artesian.
Gross.
Yeah, raping the land.
I'd check that out, maybe.
No, that sounds really cool.
You should come in and check it out, Tasty.
Yeah.
That is going to sell out, especially because tickets are only $35, and it's all you can eat of all of the things that Whole Foods is bringing, and then a lot of great beers. So you can go to, what do I have that at? SpringBrewsVIP17.eventbrite.com, or go to the Hop Grenade Facebook page, and you'll see it there. You can click on it and get your tickets. Do your Amazon shopping through us. Click the Amazon link on the homepage. Both U.S. citizens and people in the U.K. Can do it, and you just shop as normal after clicking that link, and we get a little cut. It's a great way to support us. You can also subscribe and join the BN Army. And just for as little as $2 a month, we enter you into the More Beer monthly donation giveaway, which is it's $100 that we give away every month to More Beer. So sign up and become a donor. It's important to keep us alive around here, literally. Boom, boom. All right, get other updates and funny things over on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can send your feedback to feedback@thebrewingnetwork.com.
Do that.
You can also send show ideas to feedback or send them to bevo@thebrewingnetwork.com. I don't really fucking care where you send them. Just send them somewhere.
Send them to whitehouse.gov.
Keep your ideas to yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have a Twitter game?
We do have a Twitter game.
You know, I thought we might. Twitter game is brought to you today by Mellow Mink Brewing. Now, you might remember from the Sour Hour a gentleman by the name of Dr. Lambic and his Sour Beer blog. Well, the Sour Beer blog team has been one of the longest-running sponsors of the Sour Hour, which in my notes here says is a way better show than The Session. I don't know who wrote these notes, but... well, now they're opening a sour and farmhouse-focused brewery in central Pennsylvania. You can help them get started by joining their Founders Club. The Founders Club includes 8 exclusive bottles of club-only aged and blended sour beer, early access to all of their public bottle releases, a hooded sweatshirt, a pair of tasting glasses, a growler, a metal challenge coin. I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's where your buddies and you, if they don't have their coin and you have yours, they have to buy you a beer.
Oh.
Or something like this. Something you can do with it.
Okay. You get that?
You don't take the coin unless you're really serious about having it. It's kind of the thing.
Oh, so you have to show up to play. You can't just be like, I'll do it, and then never do it.
Yeah. So a lot of guys drink free all the time because one of their buddies is going to forget.
That makes sense.
I think that's something like we would do here.
Yeah.
Why don't we?
On the show.
It wouldn't be. It would be like a condom, though. It wouldn't be a coin.
A challenge condom.
It'd be
who's wearing their challenge condom?
It'd be a cock ring.
Show it to me.
Drop them.
All right.
Boner chicken.
Not to mention discounts and more. You can learn more and join the Founders Club. Check out Mellow Mink Brewing at mellowmink.com. All right, what's our Twitter game?
Well, a lot of talk has been made recently about defining beer. I don't know. I'm trying to make something up. I want to figure out what the BN Army thinks that a beer fault would be that's named after the after the Brewing Network, after the BN. Okay. So I want you guys to create an entirely new off flavor in beer, and then name it after us appropriately.
I like this one.
Okay, I think it's time to make our mark on the beer scene finally.
And frankly, what other mark would we make than an off flavor?
Exactly. So
is perfection really an off flavor though?
Oh, I like
that's an on flavor. That's a whole different game.
I like where Beardy's going with this.
Yeah.
Does it have to be an off flavor, or it's?
No, it has to be a fault.
A fault. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not
and it
just
can't
a descriptor.
No, and it can't be like diacetyl.
Yeah,
but I'm going to call it bag acidyl because of your nuts or whatever, right?
Nutter butter.
That was a stretch.
Yeah, right. Speaking of nuts, stretch. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the Twitter game, my friend.
All right,
yes.
I like it.
Do you though?
Okay. I'll tell you what, because I actually care about our guest and his well-being, I'm gonna wait on the feedback. Because if we do the we have a great feedback this week, actually, and we could spend some time on it, so I hate to rush through it.
I'm just wowing because you care about another human being.
The meds are working.
Fair enough. Yeah. I'm not raging about anything.
The weaning was well done.
All right, but before the break, what I will let you know is that HomebrewCon is upon us. You know, the American Homebrewers Association National Homebrewers Conference, now called HomebrewCon. Now, of course, we'll be there. We are always there. This will be our 12th year going. Tasty's been going longer than that.
Me too.
So, yeah, Doc had been going since before. Well, registration is now open. It's not like a few years ago where you couldn't get tickets because now they do larger venues. And they really, let me tell you, they got their shit together after, there was a growth spurt and a little difficulty making it happen. But they fixed all that. So There's also, if you buy your tickets before April 19th, you get some early pricing. So go register for HomebrewCon. It's the homebrew event of the year. It packs a massive amount of fun and learning into 3 unforgettable days. It's June 15th through the 17th, and you can join thousands of your homebrew comrades in downtown Minneapolis. Early pricing still available, but not for much longer. April 19th, it stops. So you need to go to homebrewcon.org and check it out. Get your tickets now.
I wouldn't say it's unforgettable because I had some blackout parties.
Yeah, it's possible to forget.
Yeah.
Forgetting is definitely a thing. Yeah.
It's a goal.
There are so many things
It's more of a byproduct, Doc.
That are just burned into my memory. I can't forget them.
I found things on my phone. Like, whoa.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Basqueland Brewing Project right here on the session. I'm excited to be back and drink some more beer with you guys. So hang in there. It's the session.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Are you a member of the White Labs Customer Club? If not, you should be. It's the easiest way to earn free stuff for turning in your old homebrew labels from either Vials or Pure Pitch. All you have to do is save your labels and redeem them for things like free yeast, an exclusive White Labs t-shirt or sweatshirt, and even the opportunity to brew with the yeast man himself, Chris White. Signing up is easy. Just go to whitelabs.com/customer club, fill out the registration form, and then mail in your labels. They will return the favor by sending you awesome White Labs swag. Go sign up today at whitelabs.com/customer club. White Labs, pure yeast and fermentation since 1995.
The 21st Amendment. Watch out! Do you like beer? They make beer. Watch out! Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun. Watch out! Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment. Watch out! The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring Monk's Blood. Made with real monk. Watch out! So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment. Watch out! This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Brewing great beer is a process of continuous learning, and the best books on every aspect of brewing can be found at Brewers Publications, with more than 50 awesome titles like Modern Homebrew Recipes by Gordon Strong, Designing Great Beers, the Ultimate Guide to Brewing Classic Beer Styles by Ray Daniels, American Sour Beers, Innovative Techniques for Mixed Fermentations by Michael Tonsmeyer, For the Love of Hops, The Practical Guide to Aroma, Bitterness, and the Culture of Hops by Stan Hieronymus, and Radical Brewing, Recipes, Tales, and World-Altering Meditations in a Glass by Randy Mosher, plus many, many more. These are the books and the authors with the knowledge to push your brewing farther than you thought possible. And you'll find them all at fine homebrew and book retailers everywhere. And visit the website at brewerspublications.com. Brewers Publications, all the best on beer and brewing.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to to morebeer.com today and take advantage of the buzz, the forum, the learning center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Marin Brewing Company in Northern California has been making award-winning beers for more than 25 freaking years. Today, I want to tell you about their new 12-ounce cans of Mount Tam Pale Ale. The good stuff. Mount Tam is bright gold, 5.5% ABV to keep you feeling good, and has been winning awards since 1989. If you're visiting the Bay Area, get your butt out to Marin Brewing Company. They pour tasty beers and serve great food every day until midnight. Come in for a tour, stay for the food, and pick up a 6-pack of cans of Mount Tam Pale Ale to enjoy at home, camping, biking, or whatever the hell you do. Owner Brendan Moylan has this to say about Marin Brewing beers.
It's freaking awesome.
Marin Brewing has won more than 100 gold medals in international competitions. Check out marinbrewing.com for all their award-winning beers, food, and merch. Marin Brewing Company in Larkspur, California. Award-winning taste, refreshing finish. It's freaking awesome.
This is Corey King from Side Project Brewing, and you're listening to The Session on the Brewing Network.
All right, thanks for sticking with us. Before we get to our wonderful guest today, I want to let you know that Great Fermentations is giving away free homebrew ingredients for 15 years.
Wow.
And the Blickman Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. Just go to greatfermentations.com/giveaway and enter for your chance to win. It's a huge prize, a $10,000 retail value. Compliments of our friends at Great Fermentations. The grand prize announcement will be on Saturday, June 17th, so get it done. They're also doing random giveaways every 2 weeks leading up to the close of the competition. Items include conical fermenters, temperature controllers, and the new Blickman Riptide Brew Pump, and a whole lot more. So check it out. Top-notch customer service and everything else you need over at greatfermentations.com/giveaway. All right. If I remember how to steer this ship, and there's no guarantee that I do, we should have Ben from Basqueland Brewing Project on the line. Ben, you there?
Hello, yes.
You made it. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Welcome to the show.
Right on. Yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. I know it must be, 3 in the morning there? Maybe worse?
Yeah, it's 3:30 here.
Okay, so it's time for a beer.
Time for a beer?
Yeah.
Coffee beer, though. Let's not get too crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Ben Matz is, you're the head brewer there at Basqueland, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
So, help us learn a little bit about the brewery. We'll talk about your history as well, but how long has Basqueland Brewing Project been around?
We've been open for about the last year and a half or so.
Okay.
And we actually have a 20-barrel brew house there in northern Spain, in San Sebastian.
That's a pretty good size start. 20, go right for the 20 barrels. Where'd you get the brew house from?
It's from DME.
Okay.
From DME Canada.
Got it.
And
okay.
it's a 20 barrel.
Sorry, I'm familiar with their system.
It's a 20-barrel brew house with 6 20-barrel fermenters, and 2 20-barrel bright tanks, and it's all pretty manual. Got to kind of break your ass when you're in there. So.
Well, what else do you have to do out there?
Yeah.
Surf.
I'm actually really glad that you clarified that DME is the brand, because I was reading through my notes and it said a DME system, and I was like, oh, wait, what? So they don't use any
barrels of DME.
They don't use all DME?
No, they're great systems. They're beautiful systems.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
And what got you guys started? How did the idea come about, and why'd you do it?
Well, it started with actually with Ben Razai, the sales guy, and Kevin Patricio. I guess those are actually my buddies, and they're living out there, and they're sitting together at a bar, and they realized there's not much good beer out here, and so they decided to try to put together a brewery, and so that's kind of where it popped up, and they asked me to come out and help. So
where are you from originally?
I'm originally from San Diego.
Okay.
And grew up in San Diego, and eventually they brought me out there, and we started this brewery. So,
man, your life's not too tough, huh? You go from San Diego to Spain down into the Basqueland.
They both start with an S. It's fine.
Well, you did something right.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I was wondering kind of when I was going to get my get my kind of my break and get something going, and that thing popped up, and it was good timing, so I just went for it.
Were you a brewer, a professional brewer here in the U.S. before?
Yeah, I was actually brewing with Stone Brewing Company.
Okay.
In San Diego, and then brewing with Pizza Fort, and I actually had a small, few years head brewing down in Baja California, down in Ensenada with Cervecería City of Wendlandt.
So I can't tell if you've been chasing the beer or the surf so far with these locations.
Yeah, I guess both.
Okay.
So
that's not a bad decision.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of things led to one thing to another, and Stone was great, a lot of good experience there, but just kind of needed to move on, and things kind of popped up and just went for it. So
okay. Can you tell me a little bit about what the craft beer scene is there in Spain, and maybe even what it was before? It seems it's a bold move to go, hey, there's no beer around. Let's open up a craft brewery and see if people like it.
Yeah. So what kind of happened was this idea popped up, and then they had me come out there. We brewed in Logroño, which is about a couple hours away from where we're living, and there was not much of a beer scene going on, and it's actually growing like crazy now.
Okay.
And as far as craft beer goes, and let's see. Sorry, guys, I'm just pretty tired.
It's okay. I'm gonna try to
now I feel bad.
I'm gonna try to keep you going, man. I'm tired too. I don't know if you know this, but I was on a lot of drugs up until yesterday, and now I'm tired.
Sorry, not saying I'm tired. Just woke up,
so you're pouring beer. The people you're pouring beer for, say a year ago, are they just starting out in craft beer?
Excuse me?
Yeah, your consumers.
Yeah.
Like,
how educated were they? Did they when you started producing craft beer there? Did they run to you and say, "Finally, we're looking for this," or did they say, "Like, what is this? This is something we're not used to"?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what the hell is this?
You had to make drinkers first. Right.
It's more like a wine drinking and cider, type place up in the north.
Okay.
Throughout, there's a lot of industrial beer, like Heineken, Mao,
Carlsberg,
or San Miguel, stuff like that. But
okay.
So, what's your approach in terms of beer lineup in that environment?
What was that?
What sort of beer lineup? What kind of beers do you make?
Everything we go for is just kind of like a West Coast style IPA, pale ale. We do brew like a kind of a little bit hoppier type Kolsch. It's just style, but with a bigger Whirlpool edition with Holler Tower and Teniger.
That sounds good.
And,
yeah,
like American Amber, it's a little more hoppy.
Yeah.
So we're trying to just brew clean beer that's enjoyable. So
how's that being received?
Really well, actually. I mean, it's not an easy business when you're just a production brewery and you're just cranking out kegs and bottles,
Oh, yeah. Is that the deal? You guys aren't like a tap room or a brew pub. It's just production, huh?
Just production. We do have a small tap room now.
Okay.
And, that's really what we need, to really get cash flow going and
That seems twice as hard to me in a market like that, because now you're not just your own establishment. You can put all the beer you want in your own establishment, but now you got to go out and convince the bars that this weird ass IPA thing you're making is people are going to want it.
That's going to be great. Don't worry about it.
Customers that are IPA.
Yeah, it's totally true. But it's growing and throughout Europe, so. There's a lot of good IPAs coming out of Norway and other spots. So
it's not
definitely changing.
It's not like a ghost town of craft beer. So people are familiar with craft beer, and you're just kind of the only local one doing it.
Yeah, there's a few other guys, maybe a little bit smaller brew houses, which doesn't really matter, but they're making some good beers, and some of them are a little off, but people are trying, and it's getting better. So
okay, are you guys only available in Spain? Or do you go into France a little bit also?
Yeah, we're in Spain. We're in the UK, man, there's a lot of spots. France actually takes a lot of our beer.
Nice.
We're
France
all
is
over Europe now.
France is getting really into craft beer right now.
Yeah, they are. So it's pretty cool.
Should hook Ian up with this guy.
What's that?
It's definitely a change.
Oh yeah,
we should hook Ian up with this guy.
Yeah, the French are into trendy shit, so they're like, my parents drank wine. I'll have the beer.
Yeah.
And they're German now. I don't know why.
Well, they're invaded.
My parents spoke French.
Yeah. For being trendy, you're sure speaking like 1942.
Yeah. All my French friends are German Nazis. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Well, it's good that you get to export some beer then. How many barrels a year do you think you guys are doing? Or I guess you tell me hectoliters.
I think we did like just over 1,000 for the first year.
That's not bad.
I can tell you in liters. It's funny now. Now everything I do is in liters and hectoliters.
Right.
You know how that. So, but in Celsius, so it's pretty funny. But
yeah,
I think we produced the first year 150,000 liters, and then I think this next year we're aiming to hit almost 300,000. So
wow,
produced and almost sold. So it's pretty good considering we're pretty young and we just keg and bottle. And that tap room's actually working out pretty good now. It's not really in the culture there for people to go to tap rooms and hang out and drink beers, you know, like kind of like in San Diego.
Yeah.
Or the rest of the world.
Anywhere else.
But it's changing though, you know, and people are coming in there and really digging it. So,
but that's all the more reason, for you guys to be doing it, to introduce something like that. And it's not a difficult thing to introduce to a culture, I think, or another. Maybe I should say, it's not a difficult thing to like. In any country, right? It just kind of fits, hanging out and tasting something great, you know.
No, it's true. It's just a lot of like education and like kind of training as far as like, because people are always asking, well, what is this? Why is it this flavor, this and that? So we do a lot of tap takeovers.
Okay.
Even not just in Spain, but sometimes we fly to other places and do tap takeovers throughout Europe. And mostly in Spain is where they're kind of questioning like, why is it bitter or hop here?
Yeah. God, how
why
annoying!
Is it so dark and toasty, you know, for the imperial stouts or whatever. So
how annoying does that get after a little while?
It gets pretty damn annoying,
right? I mean, I'm sure you guys are passionate about it, so I'm joking. But when you're on like your 7th event of the month, and you're just like, all right,
why is it bitter?
Here, just read the fucking flashcard. This is why it's bitter. You know,
exactly. Yeah. So, but it's a lot of fun too. So, and we're all passionate about it. So we just. You know, you got to go for it.
Are the two founders Spanish, or are they expats, or what?
No, actually, expats. Kevin Patricio, he's from Baltimore, and I think he kind of grew up in the New York area, and then around New York, and then Ben Raza is from San Diego as well.
Okay.
And so I met Ben back in 1998, 99 through a friend through college in San Diego, and then. He moved out here about 10 years ago, and then we're always in touch. And when I was brewing at Stony, he contacted me, and it's like, hey, we got to start a brewery out here in Spain. I just said, sure, man, get the money, and we'll do it.
Right.
You know, I kind of blew him off, like, you're crazy, man.
Yeah.
That would be awesome, but you're full of shit. Basically.
No, I would do the same, of course.
Yeah.
And then what?
How
much longer did he call you up and go, all right, asshole, I got the money?
Yeah, it took a couple of years.
Okay.
But between Kevin and Ben working together, and they'd fly me out to Logroño, we'd kind of gypsy brew in this place, ferment the beer out, and then they'd package it and bring it to San Sebastian throughout the city there, and then got really good feedback, so they raised the money, and we got some money together for the brew house and the facility, you know. It's nothing pretty, but it works, and, you know, we're always there and trying to crank out beer. So
I bet. In your experience, you know, with the U.S. as well, was it cheaper to open a place there, or the opposite?
I think it's probably the same.
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
As far as here in the U.S., that's a good question. More for Kevin.
Sure. And I'm just curious because we always talk about that with our brewers here, and you know, of course, the number always varies. I feel like in a place like that, you know, on one hand you're paying a premium to get equipment there, but maybe on the other hand, doing business isn't as expensive as it is in the U.S. I don't know.
When you opened up the place, did you have to jump through a lot of hoops, as in they don't know about craft beer and they don't even know how to license a brewery?
Yeah, regulation and stuff. How was that?
Yeah. Fortunately, I didn't have to deal with a lot of that, but I know Kevin and Ben, they got really, really into it, and it's a lot of hoops. And I think there wasn't even like a license that existed for building a brewery with like a tap room attached, or say like a brew pub. Which was what we wanted to do, like brew pub style, and they didn't even understand what you're going to make beer, but then you're going to have people come drink the beer at your brewery. They thought it was the craziest thing.
What a wild concept!
Nothing more organic than that, if you think about it.
Yeah, so I know there's a lot of hoops to jump through, and then also getting like immigration papers and getting my resident card and everything it's not easy. I mean, I did a few trips back to LA, which is a real nightmare, You
mean you were deported?
Yeah, because LA sucks.
Yeah, just because it's LA.
Yeah, exactly. Forget about the hoops you had to jump through, just because you had to come back to LA. But,
yeah, I mean, it was a disaster, but it all worked out, and we're just gonna keep it going. And so we've got this year we're making 6 new IPAs.
Wow.
And they're just all single hop IPAs.
So let's talk about that. What is it like to get hops, and what kind of hops are you using for these single hop beers?
Yeah, it's not too bad because we're getting the first one we made is Enigma, which is actually from Australia, and we got that through the brewer supply group. And it's a great hop. It's really, really resinous, and kind of for me when you crack into the beer. After the dry hop, it kind of smells like when you cut into the rind of an orange. It's really, really bright, beautiful hop.
Very nice.
It sounds like it.
Next one I think is going to be a session IPA. They're all different. Just IPAs could be session, or we're probably going to ferment out a lager with all the kind of citrusy hops that they're starting to breed over in Germany.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're going to do, and. That's kind of the beer we like and what people are really going for, and that's what Ben wants, the sales guy. So we're going to crank them out, and hopefully it goes well, because it's working out well. We're actually pre-selling the beer before it's even completely packaged, because people are getting a good reputation.
Wow!
And so people are asking for it before it's even all the distributors, before it's even finished. We'll make one batch, they love it, and then they want more, so then we ferment out more. So
So is it easier to sell a new beer than it is to maintain a recurring brand? Is that why you guys are continuing to just do different single hops?
Yeah, that's a tough one. We're it seems like, because people always are asking, they're always asking Ben, what's new, and so they always buy the core beers, and then they pick up this is a new batch of something, and then they grab it up too. So, and for us, it's just more fun just to be making new stuff instead of we're making the same beers as well, like Pale Ale, IPA, all that, and trying to be consistent. But and then there's these other ones that we have fun with, and design a new label, and it sells quick, and we try to get it out there fresh, and hope that people are tapping the kegs quickly and going through it. So,
you can always hope.
Yeah. How's that hope working?
Keeping them cold too. Yeah.
Are you finding people in the market are kind of listening to you as far as drink times and how quickly to tap these beers and kind of to circulate them, or is there still some sort of old guard about beer lasts 6 months, it's fine, I'm not going to worry about it?
Yeah, man, it sucks. It's exactly what you said. We'll give them a session IPA. You want to drink that fast, get it on tap, and these bars hold on to it like it's supposed to be aged or something.
Well, the other beers they're pouring are pasteurized. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so that sucks. But it's getting better. But
that's good.
Or sometimes we use a lot of key keg, which I'm not too happy with, but we send that out, and then it sits at a bar next to a heater,
Oh, yeah. God.
Oh, yeah. So it's just kind of changes the beer pretty quick, and it's a bummer. Like, oh my gosh, this is a beer we're making. Like,
and that's so harmful when you're already trying to introduce people to something new, and then it's not what it's supposed to be, and they're like, "Yeah, see, I told you your weird thing is shit."
Right?
And you're like, "Well,
exactly.
because it's sat by the radiator all summer." What about once it's tapped and served at bars? In my experience, both in Australia and in France, actually, a lot of the beer is just kept in a cellar and then pumped through. Well, the equivalent of like a jockey box in order to like a chill plate. There you go. Thank you. Like a chill plate. So are cold boxes common there, or is that the same kind of method for serving?
It's like 50-50, I think.
Okay.
And and that's the thing. Like there's a beer bar or something, and all the key kegs are sitting warm, and then it goes through like one of those chill plate things.
Yeah.
Like a coil, and I don't know when it gets there and they put it on, it's good, but I think it really affects it over time when it's just sitting there warm.
Of course.
Depending on, I guess, how much beer got into the coil, and then how long it's just sitting there out, So.
Well, we're all sad. You can tell how sad we are.
I know, we're bummed for you. At the same time, though, everything with time, right? Like I can't, you're breaking into a new thing and trying to edge. It's just, look, it was this way in the U.S. for a while too.
No, it's still around here to some extent.
Well, that's true. I still don't order draft beer from a fucking dive bar here. I order Sierra Nevada Pale Ale in a bottle.
Yeah. Or Coors Banquet in a bottle.
Yeah.
Or a can.
Tap the Rockies, right?
Yes, you got to tap the Rockies. See, God.
He knows.
You know.
So, yeah, I'm just saying, let's not pretend it's all roses here in the U.S., too. It just, maybe it's a little better.
It depends.
Are key kegs commonly used?
It's funny. Yeah. They're everywhere.
More so than, are there a lot of breweries that just use those even for local distribution? Or do you...
Yeah, they're
stainless
everywhere,
also an option?
Is there any stainless at all? Some people do.
There is, but it's more. It seems to be more with like, if I see a stainless keg, it's Heineken or something.
Okay.
Oh, really?
I'm very envious when I see stainless kegs.
Sure, I get that.
Stainless envy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
I have this thing against this the key keg type thing, and I don't know, it's working, but I miss just using a keg like a man would use.
I keep hearing Queequeg, and I'm like, why do I want to read Moby Dick right now?
I was going to ask what your thing against the key keg is, but I guess I know now.
Is it? It's also it's the plastic for one, and then like it just seems so wasteful,
Yeah.
And then maybe you can recycle it, and then like you can't really properly purge a key keg like you can like a real keg. So I used to purge kegs very slowly through the stem, and then down the bottom the CO2 drops down and then comes back up.
Yeah,
you can really do a nice purge. With the key kegs, you can put gas in it and then push the gas out, but it's not really the same. And then don't really know what you're getting, So
hey, it occurs to me that there might be a good population of our listeners who don't even know what a key keg is. Can you kind of describe the mechanism and why people use it?
Yeah, because it's a 30-liter keg. Is that like over? I don't know, I'm just going to go for 30 liters.
That's
and
fine.
It's
plastic keg. Yeah, that's fine. We can
plastic
do it.
Plastic keg. It's clear, and there's a bag in it, like a kind of a metal-looking bag.
It's like Mylar type of bag, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Think like wine in a box, I guess.
Yeah.
Box of wine.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of concept, and then you can fill it, and then when you dispense it, one good thing about it is when you dispense the key keg, there's air pushing on the bag. You don't have to use CO2 or anything, so it's just pushing on the bag, and that pushes the beer out.
Yeah.
But they're kind of finicky with the carbonation levels, and they burp a lot, and so.
Yeah.
I like the old keg where it's just sitting there with CO2 touching the beer all the time. When you're dispensing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just.
They're kind of self-adjusting too. If one comes in a little bit low, by the next day it's normal.
You know who has?
Yeah. You have to weigh every keg. I mean, I think we always weigh a normal keg anyways. But if you fill them too fast, just like a real keg, it's going to foam.
Yeah.
But then you can see. When you fill a real keg, you can see that it's foaming and it's topping up, Whereas like a key keg, if it's foaming in there, you don't really know, so you have to go slow for them. And
that's too bad.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, that makes sense.
They're fine, but
they're not ideal.
For the sake of argument, there are reasons people use them too, and for one is obviously you don't have to invest in stainless. That's one. And correct me if I'm wrong in any of this, but they also come sanitized. Like that bag is ready to take beer. Is that right?
It's all supposedly it's all set in, ready to go. So,
which of course you could look at one of two ways. You could say, great, it comes sanitized, or as a brewer, you might go, I really wish I could have sanitized this myself.
Right, yeah, I don't trust those.
Because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But anyhow, not that I'm an advocate of key kegs, just sort of pointing out there's a reason people use them. And then, of course, it's a one-way keg, right? So if I were to buy your beer here in California, you'd send me a key keg and, of course, never get the plastic thing back. I would throw it in the bay.
Yeah. You're the reason why we have to bring our own bags to Safeway.
Yes.
Yeah, it's terrible, but we joke, and I got this from another brewer, but there's like, another key keg going to Key Keg Island.
One day. Hey, Kevin Costner in Waterworld will thank you one day.
In Key Keg World.
With his ship of key kegs.
Yeah.
The island of misfit key keg.
Plastic kegs are not a myth. I've seen them.
Well, which by the way, it's interesting because part of the marketing of the key keg is that it is a recyclable vessel. Right. But frankly, the process of recycling it is difficult at every end. So for me, as a retailer here at the Hop Grenade, I can't take it I can't put it in the recycle bin. It has to go to a special place, which means my staff has to take it there. And then does that place do the right thing with it? Because it doesn't just go in the so. Even the recyclability that I think has been marketed a little bit is kind of shady. You know,
the key benefit is not having to go get it.
Not for a brewery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can send your beer much, much further. You don't have to worry about getting it back.
Well, that's the key.
Also, probably the most annoying thing, too, is you have to fill them upside down.
Yes.
Because if you fill them upright, and then it just foams, or just the beer just drops to the bottom of the bag.
Oh, shit, yeah.
You don't get a full keg, so it's definitely not the most ergonomic type filling.
That's why, you have
I always
to
joke,
wait.
like, this was not designed by a brewer,
a manufacturer.
Computer.
Yeah, for sure. Sudwork up in Davis uses a similar system with their tanks. They have bags in their stainless tanks.
Really?
I don't know if they do it anymore, but several years ago when I was up there.
What's the point of that?
So you don't have to clean it as much, I guess, or even at all. Yeah, so you just throw another bag in there, pump your wort, because, they have that small system in the center of their brew pub. I think that's what they serve off of. So they just pump it into the bag that's contained in a vessel, and they just pump out of that.
That's interesting.
No, in Europe, I've seen 20 hectoliter tanks.
With the bag.
Yeah, they're lateral.
Yeah, right.
Interesting.
That's what they serve their draft system from?
Yeah.
So it's finished beer into the bag.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Huh. Interesting.
Weird, right?
It is weird.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to wrap my head around it in terms of why. I guess it just feels lazy to me. In a serving tank, like at that point, come on, just put,
I guess in for Sudworks example, maybe it's easier because their shit's right in the middle of the restaurant, and I don't think it was designed for the brewers in mind. Much like the key kegs, maybe it sounds like.
Yeah,
where it's like, this on paper that looks great, but in practice, it's kind of not really appropriate.
I don't know. And then one more thing, remember, it's a jacketed vessel. So you don't have to put it in a refrigerated room.
Right.
Did you also say it seemed lazy to you?
Which, by the way, if I'm calling it lazy...
Exactly.
Right.
That's fucking lazy.
My ears perked up at that one. Wow.
Well, because here's what I'm saying. Like, to do a little bright tank cleaning or a little CIP.
Yeah.
In other words, I feel like this is, and who am I? I don't know shit. But I feel like this is a bean counter invention here, where they looked at the cost of cleaning products and CIP and discovered that we could save $5,000 a year in such a thing if we move to these Mylar bags.
And labor, too.
And
somebody scrub it out and everything else. That's downtime.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying I feel like that's the only advantage of a...
Yeah. Well, you got these,
and there's no disadvantages.
Well, yeah,
I've seen one place I saw, the pour weren't always the same. You'd think they'd be, they wasted a lot of beer. I thought
they did. Yeah,
I mean, and you got these guys who maybe can't afford staff to do all the shit.
That's true. Sorry, Ben, we're going on and on without you here.
Yeah, we're talking about you like you're not here.
I'm fascinated by this idea.
And that's where they put all the key kegs. They put them in the used bag and then sink them to the bottom of the ocean.
That's right, where Ben surfs.
Right. Actually, Ben surfs on key kegs.
Imagine the irony will be that one day we'll read a news story. Spanish brewer hit in head by key keg off Basqueland coast.
Right. Well, our news, it'll be like illegal immigrant brewer, American dissident, killed.
God.
Yeah.
So, what is your most popular beer style there at the brewery?
Barley wine.
It's actually just an American IPA, West Coast style.
Okay.
That one sells the most, and then the Kolsch style beer sells really well. Just I think because it's the most similar type beer that people are used to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you go out to a bar there and you get a Cognac, like a small beer from the draft system, it's usually just like your typical industrial lager. So I think the Kolsch kind of people that are just kind of getting introduced to craft beer, they kind of go towards that, and then the IPA. So
okay,
everything else kind of in between. So the pale ale and the amber.
It's so funny. It doesn't surprise me with the IPA. For one, it's the beer, and in fact, we used to in the early years of this show, we used to say, stop giving your friends who don't like craft beer IPAs. Don't make that their first beer, right? So on one hand, it's one of the most offensive to the palate. On the other hand, it's always the most successful. In fact, I guess what I'm saying is it's almost better just to leap right over everybody's expectations and land on an IPA because they seem to be more accepting of it to just go, it's completely different.
That's true.
But that's why I like it then.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's changed, too. Yeah. Like, I don't think that was the case 10 years ago.
Okay.
But I think now, through, viral marketing and everybody drinking IPAs, they hear about IPA. And so I think, to a certain extent, people think they need to like IPA because everybody else does. This is a groupthink thing.
Yeah.
So I think they're more willing to be open to it, whereas 10 years ago, hey, here's this beer. Be careful. It's really fucking bitter.
Yeah.
That would put anybody off. But now it's, hey, here's an IPA. Oh, I've heard about that. That's on my fucking favorite podcast.
My brother-in-law drinks that.
Yeah. So I think it's a little bit of both, too. But I think collectively our palates may be shifting to this is really intense flavor, and that's what we like.
We just like it. And foods as well. So
right, and I wonder how much the food movement has played in that, too.
Yeah.
And especially the foods coming from Spain. I think a lot of that farm-to-table stuff started in Spain.
Right.
In that whole region.
Maybe we should start saying, oh, yeah, my grandma drinks IPA.
That'll
get everybody. My grandma drinks cloudy IPA.
Right, yeah. My grandma loves New England IPAs.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Maybe not in my lifetime because it'll be a lot shorter than the rest of you.
Well, that's true.
But those words will be heard, Beardy.
Oh, yeah?
Someone will go, yeah, my grandma drinks IPA.
Non-ironically.
Do you guys do bottles and cans packaging at all?
Clap your hands.
As well?
Yeah. All bottles and kegs.
Bottles and kegs, okay.
Yeah.
Do you do bombers or do you 6-packs?
Excuse me?
What's a bomber?
22 ounce? Is that an item? He knows bombers. He's from San Diego.
Yeah.
The guy's from San Diego. What?
750 milliliters.
He's metric.
Look, you can't tell by his accent.
He knows he knows what sharks are, and he knows what fucking bombers are. Okay.
Sharks? Those are only in San Diego.
No.
He did say what?
What is the package?
It's just 12-ounce bottles, and then we can set the machine for 22s for bombers if we want to.
Okay.
But we did a round of black IPA and Imperial Stout in 22s, and the beer. I mean, it moves a lot slower than we thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Much easier. Just boom, boom, boom. People are going to pick it up, and we definitely sold it all, but the 22s move a lot slower for some reason.
Well, where are they sold at? Are there shops that have bottles on shelves or?
Yeah, exactly.
I see.
And all over just bottle shops and just throughout, like through Europe and.
So there's not like in Spain. There's not like a state-run, liquor store or anything like that, like Canada or whatever.
Spain.
No.
Now, do you distribute your own bottles and cakes, or do you have a distributor?
Yeah. We have several distributors. Sure. Like we have a couple guys in France. There's one company that picks up a lot of beer from us. Another guy, he's kind of more independent. He comes around every month and just picks up a pallet, and then we have in the Basque Country up here we have Zappyine. They're a cider house. They distribute our beer as well. And then down in the south we have Crossley. So we have a lot of different guys taking our beer.
And generally, when they take ownership of it and get it to their place, is it kept cold there or not?
Yeah. The guys, we know the guys around the corner from us. When they take it away from us, because we keep it cold in our cold box. Right. But when they take it away, they keep it cold.
Cool.
And then from there, I don't know what happens. It's unfortunate, but
it's a sad thing.
Try not to think about it.
How do you sleep? I don't know.
Spanish cider sounds amazing. Is it? What is the cider scene like? Is it like super dry or semi-dry, like maybe like a French cider?
It's incredible. Like it's like something I guess I can compare it to kind of a funky lambic almost, but
boring.
But still different. It's got a nice acidity. It's really dry.
So does that
sounds good.
When you say kind of like a funky lambic, are they just using natural yeast from the fruit?
Yeah. They use a spontaneous fermentation, and I've been there for the harvest. We actually made wort and blended in like a fresh press for the harvest, and the beer was raging fermenting the next day.
Nice.
Just from whatever was on the apple skins.
That's very cool.
And
that's a lot.
Just to see, we just did 1,000 liters just to see, we split the wort with the apple press.
It's like 12 gallons.
And because we have a good relationship with the cider house guys down the road from us, so we did a little experiment with them, and but the cider itself is awesome.
Is it like the kind of bready character?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I love that shit in cider, dude. Little tiny Brett character.
Yeah. It has a little Brett inside her. For sure has Brett character. And then, if you find a bottle that's maybe 6 months old or a year old, some of them are kind of nail polishy. They get kind of acetic and get kind of weird.
Yeah.
And kind of off. But when you get them when it's fresh or, I don't know, 6 months or so, they can be really bright and kind of a little bit funky and real acidic, but not as acidic as a sour beer,
Okay.
Yeah, good.
I'll even drink it when it's old, like you're describing. I'm an alcoholic, Ben, and that sounds fine to me.
But that Brett puts a different spin on it.
Yeah.
Kind of those flavors are more acceptable at an older age, and I think they can cover up some of those weirder oxidized
things.
They're
up too, so it doesn't get old.
Yeah.
The nail polish, though, can get a little offensive.
A little bit, yeah.
Nothing's going to take care of that.
No. The nail polish gets a little crazy sometimes, but
a little ibuprofen, it's fine.
It's cool.
Makes me wish I painted my
nails. There's a cider season when you actually can go to the cider house.
The season inside.
And you can go there, and it's called Choach, like TXOTX, and you can go there and everyone yells Choach, and you go in these big rooms and with the cellar, and you catch the cider in your glass and drink, and it's a great time.
Oh, it sounds fantastic.
I think Snoop Dogg would like that because he yells Chuch a lot. So I think he
stole it. Yeah. Guy's never been to Spain, but
I love Basques. Chuch.
Yeah.
Snoop's all about cider.
That is cool.
He sells it.
Oh.
I'm looking at your website, too, folks. You can go to basquebeer.com and have a look, and their whole lineup of beers is there. Well, at least probably your regular ones. Great branding. The labels look really cool. There's a picture of Ben on there, and the whole team. So you can go check them out.
Looks like a surfer.
There's a shop. Yeah, he's a surfer dude. There's also
hang tin, bruh.
There's even pictures of the brewery on the... Jeez, did you just hang 10, JP?
He surfs. And then I brought him.
Oh, my God.
I braid him, actually. Yeah.
There's a picture of somebody walking out into the surf and on the website. I don't know if you know this, but there's rocks and shit there. You should be careful.
You watch out.
Sharks, too.
Yeah.
A few rocks out there.
Seems dangerous.
I like that. Are they all rocks?
Yeah.
What's the website again, Justin?
It is basquebeer.com. And if you can't spell it, just go back to school. There you go. Everybody can figure this one out.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ben. Normally, I keep you around for another segment. But a couple of things. You got. I know it's early there.
We don't like
and,
surfers.
Well, also,
the ocean is scary.
Yeah.
Well,
and we hate people from L.A.
They were nice enough to ship us beer, and unfortunately, it got caught behind Donald Trump's wall or something.
Yeah, it did.
It's
enemy line.
He built that quick.
And that's usually what we spend our yeah, go ahead.
It's going to be excellent.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, that's usually what we spend our second segment doing is tasting your beer and either ridiculing you about it or actually more commonly asking you about the techniques that you use. But maybe we'll just save that for next time. I know it's early there, and I sure would. That beer's going to show up eventually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully, when it shows up, maybe we'll just call Ben and wake his ass up. Like, we're drinking your beer, bro. It's 6:30, and he's like, "Fuck off."
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
make sure it's 3:30 a.m. here and call me up. And
exactly.
That would be really cool. I'd really like to try their beers, man.
It's probably in your fridge at home, isn't it, JP?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, right. JP's like, oh, didn't come.
That's weird.
Sorry. When I move and I have a beer party, you guys are going to be like, wait a minute.
It did. The note I got said signed for by Jason Petros.
That's fucking typical of this administration, blowing smoke with fake news, bro.
Right.
Fake news, yeah.
All right, so
it's not really happening.
That's a great beer name.
It is a great beer name. Oh, and you
Fake
know,
Brews, bro.
Ben, you know that would go over well over there too.
Oh, yeah.
You can have that.
We've been talking about using
you can have that, yeah. Or it's FAY Cruise, Fay Cruise.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
I don't know.
I actually saw on my friend's Instagram. You know, do you guys know Artifacts Brewing Company?
Yeah.
Artifacts in San Clemente?
Yes.
I just saw they made a beer called Fake Brews. I was like, oh, damn it. That's pretty good.
That's a good one.
But so that is good. But I'm telling you, right there where you are, if you just made and you got to stack the deck by making the style what everybody wants. Just do a fake news IPA, and you're going to triple your production in a year.
Give us 5% of that and call it good.
Yeah.
And make one of those yellow beers that tastes like a stout.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Yeah.
Great idea, Tasty.
Just make it extract and call it Fake Brews.
Well, you have that DME system.
Right.
So,
you're right.
Alternative facts. There you go.
Yeah. Alternative facts.
All right.
Okay, just stop it, you guys.
Welcome.
It's getting the jokes are getting more and more dad.
That name is as clumsy as Warren.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So, in short, I'm going to let you off the hook, Ben. You can go get some sleep.
It's up to you guys, whatever.
Well,
so you guys have never been to northern Spain, huh?
No.
Never been. Another place on the list.
Barcelona's on my short.
I mean, Clooney, I know, is in south of Spain, and I've been there.
Your guy?
My guy Clooney, but, I call him Clooney.
Boy Clooney.
His friends like for him to call him by very, very, PE, middle school, high school thing, so it's Clooney. The Clune. You can call him the Clune.
Well,
but never northern Spain, no.
And in fact, Ben, I was going to ask, do you feel like you're a lifer now? Is that your home?
I really like it, and it's been a good experience, and I plan on being here for some time, but I would really like to get back to not necessarily San Diego, but maybe back to Mexico or
okay.
I don't know. We'll see one day. I mean, I'm happy as it is, and things are going well, you know.
That's rad.
And kind of always wanted to live somewhere else like this, and the opportunity came up, so I just went for it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
how are the senoritas out there? Do they like the tall blonde GP? Dude, I'm just curious. You got to know these things.
All right, go ahead.
There's some beautiful, beautiful women here for sure.
All right. But
and, I've actually, my girlfriend's from Barcelona.
There you go.
And which is actually an awesome city. I don't know if you guys have been there, but it's beautiful.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You got the accent and everything. I know what's up.
JP's seen the Discovery Channel twice in his life, and apparently there was an episode on Barcelona.
Yeah, you haven't lived until you've heard David Attenborough describe fucking Barcelona to you.
You used his accent to do it. I get that.
It's true, man. That exists. The Barcelona.
I've heard of that. Hey, JP.
It's the accent. It's the Spanish. The Barcelona.
I know.
All right.
I'm just
You're
saying,
not cultured as I am.
I cut cable. That's why.
Well,
it's not the gay part.
Cut cable, cut education. I've always said that.
There's Netflix for that.
I would love to go. Definitely Barcelona has always been on the list.
I'm sorry, what?
And honestly, the only thing I know about Basqueland is when I've tasted different cured meats and things like that. Am I close? Like, it's also it's a great food capital, right?
Huge food culture, yeah. Up in the throughout Spain, but like up in the north, especially with the chistorra and like the cured meats, and it's super cool. I mean, all the different food, and I don't know.
Is that something that you're able to incorporate in the beer, whether it be ingredients or even just trying to encourage people to pair beer with different foods?
Yeah, somewhat. Like we did a collaboration with Beavertown in London, out of the UK. And we tried to copy a dessert that's really common here in Spain, pachineta, and it's got almonds in it and vanilla and all that. And we tried to brew like a dark brown porter with the spices, and infused in the bright tank, and it turned out okay. It's decent, but we've done a lot of stuff with local crushed hazelnuts and infusing the bright tank in a porter, an imperial porter, and then imperial stout as well. The coconut wasn't local, but we toasted coconut, infused it in the tanks, in the bright tanks, and I don't know. It kind of goes with like a lot of the tradition of as far as fresh product and pairings, with the food, and
sure.
So,
and it seems like that would kind of drive people in too, is what I was thinking, to make an association like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. People get pretty into it, so it's cool. Yeah. And I don't know. It's interesting, to see like what, and the food culture is pretty amazing here. So
I just get fat. That's what would happen.
But you get preserved. My buddies send pictures to my buddies through WhatsApp or whatever, and I was like, "Geez, man, like, how are you not so fat?"
Right.
You can see what we're getting into sometimes,
Well, you got work to do. You're sweating it out in that brewery. I wouldn't be doing anything. I would
that brew house
a lot of email
destroys me. So
yeah, you should be raking in the dough.
I would just be hanging out raking in the dough.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. And getting fat.
What's Spanish for dough, JP?
Moolah, I think is what it is.
Okay. That's not Italian?
We don't know.
Okay.
Shut up, Beardy.
There's no way to know.
JP knows. JP's Spanish. He's practically Spanish.
Yeah.
By way of Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Eastern Spain.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
All right.
Eastern Spain.
Well, Ben, I appreciate your time very much. Folks, you can go to basquebeer.com and check it out. And if you're ever in the Basque region, I recommend you go to Basqueland Brewing Project. I know we will.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. You can just send us an email or try to contact us. Anyone who's listening wants to come visit. If you go to San Sebastian, it's a beautiful city, and there's so much to do and see, and the brewery is there, so you might as well swing in for a beer.
Hell yeah!
Check it out. So
I'm waiting for that beer to show up.
I know.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully it's tasting good, and who knows how long it's going to sit there.
I know, that's the only, exactly. It just depends on how long some drug dog is pissing on it in the customs.
We won't judge too hard.
But what we will do is we're going to throw a little Spanish party when we get it, and then we're going to take a nap. Is what we're going to do. Yeah.
A classic siesta.
We're going to drink it all, and then we're going to go to sleep.
We'll have a fiesta,
then siesta. Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. Actually, we'll put all the beers in a piñata. We're going to get really, really authentic here.
All right.
Guys, stop it.
Piñata.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's whatever.
Ben's like, I haven't seen that since I ate a super burrito in San Diego.
With a California one.
True.
Hey, do you have like a go-to dish now there? Like, what's your favorite Spanish food?
Ooh, yeah.
Tapas?
My favorite thing to do right now is go to the cider houses for the season.
Yeah.
Just a few months, and all it is, it's a set menu of it's bacalao, which is cod. It's like a cod dish of fish, a little small amount, and then tortilla bacalao, which is a kind of an omelet with cod, and then the final dish is a chuleta, which is a fat steak, and it's served very, very rare.
Okay.
It's barbecued, but very, very bloody. And then you can go choach all you want, You know, get into the cider. So, but probably my favorite is just to go to the Old Town and drink the local white wine with different dishes like sardines or anchovies, like anchovies on bread, and I don't know. There's a lot of different things. Like in the seasons, they'll have I don't know, off the top of my head. Probably my favorite, I guess, would be Cigalas, which are
seagulls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of different stuff to go for, you know. But
do they have
seafood? The seafood's incredible, you know. So
that sounds amazing, dude. All that shit sounds like it pairs great with drinking some ciders.
Yeah,
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, everything goes well with the cider for sure. So
that sounds great.
Yeah. I'm just craving Chipotle right now.
Some barbacoa.
Me too.
All the things he described, you think Chipotle.
I was thinking Chipotle. But see,
I can boil everything down from a culture into one fast food. Go ahead, try me.
Chipotle. But Ben agrees. He was craving it too.
That's
he just
true.
Did he?
Yeah.
I do crave just a nice burrito with hot sauce. You know, there's no hot sauce here.
What?
So.
There's no hot sauce.
Yeah,
Leave.
In Spain?
Yeah, they don't like spice, like hot spice, you know.
We got to send.
It's not very common.
We got to send this guy some goddamn sriracha.
Can you smuggle in some tapatia?
Some fucking some Cholula, bro. Let's get this thing going.
We got to keep a brother alive over there. I'm going to go to the Taco Bell tonight and ask for all the hot sauce I can get.
Yeah.
Well, his beer didn't make it over here. Do you think the hot sauce is going to make it all the way back over there?
Right. Good call.
It's true.
Yeah, I definitely miss that, but you can find it in the store sometimes, but it's not the same like the stuff you can find in Mexico.
Right.
But
yeah, I don't know.
Or like in the little taco shops in San Diego or in SF, you know.
I don't know what I'd do without Mexican food. It's like it's been a staple of my diet since I was 3 years old, man. Like it's just I don't know what I'd do without it.
That's usually diuretic.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. All right, Ben, I'm going to let you go. I want to thank you so much for spending time with us today. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I used to listen to you guys on like the Jamil show occasionally, and like I think Brew Strong or
I
don't remember like Can You Brew It and all that stuff. I recognize your voices, so it's just cool to talk to you guys.
Well, awesome, thanks for listening. Yeah, you listen to the ones where you learn something, so that gives me some faith in your beer.
No, I was that's why it's good.
You're right.
No, I used to listen to you guys like the podcast when I was at work, and you know it was super cool. So I was stoked when I got the email from you guys to try to set up an interview, and so unfortunately I would have really liked to just go there and meet with you guys, and that would have been awesome. So.
Yeah. Well, anytime you're around, man.
And that's not off the table. Next time you're coming to California, you just let us know, and we'd love to have you back on.
Yeah, we'll go to Chipotle.
Cool, man.
Yeah. We'll go to all our classic Mexican food like Chipotle.
Yeah.
I'll even order it in for you guys.
Thank you, Bevo. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everybody's in on it.
Yeah. We got bowls out here.
Well, thank you for saying that. It's actually it's an honor, and it makes me feel like we have a little influence on beer around the world. So that's cool of you to say. Thanks,
for sure.
man.
Yeah, you guys do an awesome job, and you know I definitely learned a few things listening to you guys, and always a good laugh. You know.
Well, we used to do an awesome job.
Now we're good for a laugh.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. That's cool, man.
All right, Ben, get some sleep and then wake up and drink something.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you guys. Well, take care.
All right,
Appreciate
Ben.
it.
Cheers, brother.
Thanks,
Hope to
man.
see you in Spain
All right,
sometime.
cheers.
Take care.
All right.
There
Ciao,
you go. No, I just hung up on him. My fault.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, despite the fact that he was asleep and we didn't have his beers, I like the guy. I thought it was cool. I mean, it's not like a fault, but it's 3:30 or whatever in the morning. Anybody would be dead tired.
It's 4:30 now.
You know what I like?
Oh, no excuse.
You know, we've done that interview before with the 3 o'clock in the morning thing. Ben's the only one to ever really admit it.
Right.
Like, he just went, like, at one point, he's like, I'm sorry, man, I'm fucking tired. And I appreciate that. Like, at least I always want to just know what we're in for, and then we can deal with that. It's the folks who get on and they're like, no, it's going to be fine, it's going to be fine. And it's not fine.
No.
It's not fine. Ben was fine.
And I knew that he would come up Like as the thing progressed, and we kind of talked about some shit and had a laugh or two.
Well, I
and
certainly
everything was
didn't
great.
chop him off for any other reason than I want to talk beer with him.
We just don't have his beers.
What we'll do is just get them back on when we got the beer. And, that's happened to us before too. The goddamn customs just holding on to that. Holding on to those yeast samples.
That's right.
So is JP's house called Customs now?
No,
That's right.
no,
It's called
that
Customs.
wasn't even to JP. That was to me, and he labeled them as yeast.
And by the
It
way,
was the whole
since
thing.
when is JP Moscow? All the beers hidden in a fridge at his house.
I don't know, but I'm definitely not pouting about it. I'll tell you that.
All right, look, I gotta pee.
Me too. Let's go pee together.
Damn it, stop talking.
You got the lever on the pee switch. Come on.
We'll do some feedback when we come back. Hang in there. It's The Session.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Your support of the Brewing Network means everything to us. We couldn't produce shows without you. And we love giving you something extra for that support. Like Brew Your Own magazine. You already know it's a great brewing magazine full of recipes, equipment how-tos, discussions of beer styles, and brewing techniques. Whether you're new to brewing and just starting out or you're an old pro, you'll always learn something from the articles in Brew Your Own. Plus, there are amazing special issues like plans for building a Brutus 10 system, 250 classic clone recipes, and the Homebrewer's Answer Book. Brew Your Own magazine and BYO.com are awesome resources for any brewer. Whether for yourself or as a gift, when you subscribe or resubscribe from the Brewing Network homepage, you directly support programs like this. Get a great magazine and support the Brewing Network. Subscribe to Brew Your Own right from thebrewingnetwork.com. Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star Sand, SanaClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today.
Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blickman Engineering has the answer. The Blickman Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on 2 gorgeous Blickman Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blickman Tower of Power temp controller and make moving around easy with the Blickman Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at BlickmanEngineering.com and brew with Blickman quality on your new Brew Easy.
If you work in retail sales, the restaurant industry, or are a new craft beer enthusiast, or you know someone who is, you have got to check out Beer 101. Beer 101 is an online course created for anyone wanting a quick introduction to the vast world of craft beer. Beer 101 covers the history of beer, brewing ingredients and processes, vital stats like ABV, SRM, IBU, and gravity, styles, tasting, glassware, and pairing beer with food. The Beer 101 course is offered by the Brewers Association at craftbeer.com. Also home to the truly awesome Beer Style Finder, a visual guide to every beer style. Quickly play with color, bitterness, and alcohol content to interactively explore the entire world of beer styles with a gorgeously designed interface to your favorite beverage. The new Beer 101 course and new Beer Style Finder are only available at craftbeer.com. Craftbeer.com, celebrating the best of American beer.
Hey, what's up? This is Blake from Creature Comforts. You're listening to The Session on the Brewing Network.
Yeah, you are. All right. Thanks to Basqueland Brewing Project for being on the program. Ben, we appreciate your time, and it'll be fun to go see you in Spain. We got a lot of places to go. We got to do a world tour one day, Tasty. I'm
going to have to get... I keep getting a lot of pressure to go to Paris.
Oh, dude, you got to do it. There. You got to do it. Outland Brewery. They opened their tap house now. The Outland Tap House is up and running. Paris is now a good beer scene.
John's helping make it.
Yep.
He was in when it wasn't that popular.
That's right. Thanks to the Brewing Network.
Yeah.
Thanks to Justin.
Pretty much.
The Paris brewing scene is turning around.
I am. I'm the godfather of French beer.
There you go. Yeah.
So I'm the godfather of surrender beer.
Right.
Hey, don't forget about Beersmith home brewing software. You know, just talking to somebody in my neighborhood the other day who's looking to open a brewery in Martinez, and we were just talking about different things, and sure enough, we're talking about recipes and how he can get his beer dialed in before the brewery even opens. And out of the blue, the guy, of course, mentions Beersmith. He uses the software as a home brewer.
It's the go-to software.
And so many even professional brewers now just talk to me about it. You can get your free 21-day trial. Just go to beersmith.com and download it. It works on a PC and a Mac, and so you don't really have to take our word for it or the countless homebrewers and professional brewers who come in here and use it. And just so many pros who started as homebrewers, get to know the software. It does so many things. They move over to the brew house and they just kind of keep right on using it.
Very good. Just call it your equipment and then it takes over.
Yeah, it's a great piece of software, but you don't have to take our word for it because you get a free trial. Go check it out. Brad Smith, the creator, also does a fantastic podcast if you're looking for more information and something else to listen to when we're off the air or I'm half dead. You can check out the Beersmith Brewing podcast. He does a really nice job.
A lot of articles.
Yeah, every time I see him at different events, Brad, he wants to talk about podcasting and such, and I don't.
Hey, did you ever dial in the level? No, hey, man.
And I'm just like, you know what, Brad, you're better at this than me. Let's just not, you don't need any information from me. Go check it out. You go to beersmith.com and get all the info you need.
Do it. Go there now.
All right, well, I thought we'd get to that feedback that we have. We got a lot of it this week. And feedback's brought to you today by the Beer Law Center. You can go to beerlawcenter.com and check it out. Our good friend John, who I believe is about to publish a book that has been, boy, what a void in this industry has there been until now. So I'll keep you up to date on that when the book is available. But I know he was writing about the many legal issues that are near and dear to your hearts, pro brewers. And John over at the Beer Law Center is going to help you out with that. So I'll keep you up to date on that. In the meantime, if you need help, with your licensing or your trademarks, you can go to beerlawcenter.com. And John will take good care of you. He's a good guy and knows this industry, which I think is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't just know the law, but knows how the law pertains to this industry. He's got like the mindset of a home brewer and a craft brewer. So
he does.
He'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Aren't you like writing a foreword?
Yes,
or something,
I am. I was thinking about telling you, but then I didn't want to do it yet. Yeah, a well-known beer podcaster is writing the foreword for John Simsakis' book.
Yeah. Who knows a lot about law.
Yeah,
this podcaster knows a lot about
he
law.
contacted me. He goes, "Is that all just a bit, or do you actually really want to write a foreword?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah! Come on! Yes, I do." So it'll be all about me. It'll never be about the book.
So I'm really good, and I like legal things.
I think
also
the
like
law
legal
is great. I think everyone should follow it.
I have met a law officer before.
And so does John.
At the end. What? Give me a beer. I have the book. I haven't read it. I need to read it. But it
would help.
Yeah. I mean, I need to do it, but I think that'd be great to write it like your 5th grade "What I Did for My Summer Vacation" essay. This essay will tell you this forward will tell you about the book you are going to read. I like the book you are going to read.
My name is Jason. I read books. This is one of them.
Yeah.
Let me count how many words there are. Is that enough?
Am I done yet?
Oh, double space would be great.
All right, let's do some feedback.
I'll make the forward just a drawing, a stick figure of me reading the book.
It's good.
This is law.
It's a picture of the lawgiver from Planet of the Apes.
All right, Quinn writes in, "Hey all, I'm a big fan of the show and appreciate everything you do. With that said,
there you go.
I have heard you confuse brewery ownership groups one too many times and need to chime in. I admit it's harder and harder to keep straight, but Pyramid is not owned by Craft Brew Alliance. Pyramid is owned by the same group that owns Magic Hat and Genesee. The ownership company that was previously known as North American Breweries is now owned by Florida Ice and Farm Company, which is actually a Costa Rican company, he says.
Florida Ice and Farm Company, Costa Rica.
Yeah. See? And people try to tell me for years there's no ice store. There's a whole fucking company in Florida, no less.
Where they need ice.
Florida, yeah. If there's one thing I know about Florida, they're known for their ice farming.
That's where they made their money.
He says, he says, I know it's confusing, but shit, man, it merits some clarification. The Craft Brew Alliance owns Widmer. And by the way, I have a feeling I'm one of the most guilty about this. I always confuse Widmer and Pyramid.
Oh, me too.
I might have been the Craft Brewer Alliance, CBA, owns Widmer, Kona, Red Hook, Omission, Square Mile Cider, and a minority stake in some other shit. He says, I hope this helps. Next time you won't be so quick to associate the two, or maybe you will. But remember, Wikipedia is your friend in situations like this.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we're using it all the time.
Google it.
So Pyramid's owned by Florida?
And then you go to Wikipedia.
Is that what he said?
Florida owns Pyramid.
Pretty much, yeah. Apparently Costa Rica owns Florida, so who would have thought?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
they're almost halfway there anyway.
And Mar-a-Lago Resort owns Costa Rica.
Yes,
so
but not for long.
Which is in Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
I'm getting it now.
You get it? You get it?
You look like you're getting it.
I'm getting it.
Quinn, you're right, and I often think we should be better at our jobs. We're just not. So thank you for correcting us.
Duly noted.
Thank you. Yes.
And we're going to do it again.
It's
and again.
commensurate with the pay.
It's fine.
I mean, one thing I like about us is that we are consistently shitty at our jobs.
That is
we may
true,
be slow, but we're
whatever.
But we knew someone owned Pyramid.
Yes, we did know that. In our defense.
Yeah.
Pyramid, in our defense, Pyramid was owned.
I believe that's at least an A-.
Yeah, it's an A-.
Now we've been owned.
Yeah.
For extra credit, what is the actual name of the holding company? Yeah.
I did always want to have on our network like a real beer news podcast, like a short, like the NPR does, like the 5-minute news brief. And I always wanted that, but I am keenly aware that we are terrible at that sort of thing.
Mean serious?
And facts.
Okay, facts.
Well, presumably, if that was somebody's sole job, then they would do that.
And I've always
like
thought
off the
that
cuff,
too.
like shit. Yeah,
I've always thought that too. But then that person would probably require payment for their job.
Probably
like the producer,
like Moscow did when he wasn't getting paid.
Yes.
If you expect
and I'm
someone
the
to know
worst
facts,
person to do that job.
Yeah. I've been feeling lately like one day we will grow up
I think we can
and
do
be
that.
professionals.
Yeah.
I don't know what that day is, and I don't know that I'll be around for that day.
Because it's not soon.
Maybe that's what it needs.
But I do know that one day it will come.
Yeah, maybe it needs you to not be around.
Yeah.
that will be the day.
You are probably not far off. Yeah. I'll do my part.
Thank God.
That death will be speaking, baby.
I'll go find a hot chick with a sexy voice, and she could read the news.
That's all we need.
How about that?
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's what I think of when I think of NPR.
You ever seen
it's the radio. She didn't even have to be hot.
You ever seen those women like on the Golf Channel? And I'm just like, God, good Lord.
Yeah.
You were... I feel like somebody invented you for this position.
Yes.
Like you're well-spoken, amazing to look at, know more about golf than anybody I've ever seen in my life. And by the way, this could go for male or female. I just tend to notice the female.
Sexist.
Yeah. But I just sometimes I look and I go, you don't even go to school for that. You're like you were born for this position.
Born and you have talent, and you can read a teleprompter and you can understand shit, and there you go. That's sometimes
Before you
all
know
you
it,
need.
you have a career.
Yeah,
reading.
Who would have thought?
All right. Anders writes in.
Anders?
Yeah. The title of the email is "I Suck." He says
every Anders I know would say that.
He says, "Hey everyone, this is not really feedback, but I did have a question for you." I just got that, Doc. That was good. I'm a fairly novice homebrewer. I attempted my second all-grain brew this weekend, and this is where I sucked. I failed to regulate the temp enough, and it got to 180 degrees for the mashing temp.
Oh.
And it took a while to get back down, as it would. I thought I might have been okay, but I pitched my yeast yesterday and checked it this evening, and there's just nothing going on.
Yep.
He goes on to say it's an Abbey Ale, so I was going to add candy sugar at like day 5 or 8 anyway. He's like,
that would help ferment something.
He's like me, day 5 or 8. I don't know. Anyway, what do you think? Do you think adding now will help, or is this beer done for? Love the show, Anders.
It would help him waste more money.
Okay.
It'll ferment. Because he puts the sugar in it, it'll ferment. Because
the sugar.
Back up a second. What happened at 180 degrees?
It denatured the enzyme.
Killed all the enzymes, so it's all still starch and it's not simple sugar, so there's got nothing to eat.
It can't be converted into alcohol, is what you're saying.
Or if you put more enzymes.
You got to shorten the carbohydrate chains.
No.
You can add some Beano.
Yeah, you could try that, but
enzyme.
You think even that might not work, Doc?
I think I'd just start over again.
Yeah, that's the best advice.
Invest the money you save on this batch by not putting more money into it and buy a thermometer.
And the candy sugar is expensive, isn't it? So
yeah, it will ferment. He'll think, oh, cool, it's fermenting now.
But then what would it be? It would be kind of not even thin, right? Because it'd have a weird mouthfeel from the long chain sugars, and low alcohol still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though the candy sugar would ferment.
He'll think it's all good because it starts fermenting again.
Okay.
But that's just because of the simple sugars that he just put in there.
But
all that malt sugar isn't malt sugar. It's just long chain starches.
What is the highest you could mash at without screwing up all those enzymes?
It's a time thing too.
Yeah.
You can have it up around the 165 probably,
but it would be short.
It's going to be short because you can't denature them all at once, and it's just they start unraveling.
Okay.
And until you got nothing there, so it's a short-lived kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if you're not converting these long chain starch things into simpler sugars that the yeast can eat, you're swimming in a muck.
Right.
So.
Well, and Anders, don't be too hard on yourself. Go back to the Honesty and All Grain show years and years and years ago, and it'll kind of guide you through this. Because I felt like, everyone says it's so easy. You just mash in, and you get your... And it is. It can be, but it's... it's foreign the first time you do it. And it's so easy to do what you did, to be honest.
It's simple. It's not easy.
Yeah.
My first all-grain batch, I did not calibrate my thermometer beforehand and mashed in, hit my 153 temperature, everything was fine, and the gravity just did not go down, fermentation didn't happen.
Okay.
And then I was troubleshooting, and I plopped my thermometer in boiling water. It was 15 degrees off.
Okay.
So
low,
I was
15 degrees low.
Right. So I was actually at almost 170.
Yeah.
Kills it.
And
I didn't know water boiled at 153. That's fucked up.
I mean, I was in Minnesota, so I was like, the elevation's different.
Yeah.
Everything
water
feels
goes
cold.
down the toilet the opposite way.
Right.
Minnesota's weird.
Yeah, it's a weird state. But yeah, turns out once I calibrated my thermometer, everything worked out fine.
Yeah.
So it happens to everybody.
I think
don't save it.
And I agree. I'm going to go with Doc on this one. I like to, people always do want to know, well, what can I do anyway? Because they're reluctant to throw things away. So I like that Tasty threw out. You could add some Beano and see what you could do. But even if you got it to ferment, I think what Doc is saying is right. You're not going to enjoy that beer.
No. And I'm one for saving beers and doing weird things to save that batch.
Yeah.
This ain't one of those times. Okay. All right. Thank you for the email, Anders. Sorry for the bad news.
Turns out you do suck.
Yes.
All right.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. Hey, shitty brewer.
You're fucked.
Chris writes in, and this is about when we had Julian Schrago from Beechwood Brewing Company.
Oh, that was a great show.
We had him.
Everybody's telling me how they love that.
We always. That's why we've been trying to get him in here. We knew. First of all, he's fun, and then he's just such a great brewer. So, this is in regard to the bit we had him read his beer reviews.
Yeah, right. The beer ratings or whatever.
Chris really liked it. He says, great show. A friend recommended it months ago, and I've been enjoying it ever since. I know this is late, but I finished the Beechwood session, and I have to say that Julian Schrago's reading of reviews needs to be a staple of every guest you have on. From the initial days of review sites, and then he kind of makes fun of the different sites. He says, the insufferable diarrhea of reviews from people hasn't ceased. You guys have shown a way to have fun with the idiots that troll a brewer's hard work. So keep up that good work from Chris. You know what? I like this suggestion because I thought I had a lot of fun having Julian do that. And there's probably other brewers that have even worse or more fun reviews to read.
Some take it more seriously too. Like they really read them and they really.
Yeah,
it's like Jimmy Kimmel making people read those shitty tweets.
Well, exactly, and frankly, that's where we really got it from, and we just thought this will be cool to do because we know that brewers read their reviews, and we also know that some of them are bullshit. Where they just mention random things that have no bearing on reality.
Exactly.
So we just thought it'd be fun. I can't guarantee we'll have every guest do it because it actually is one of those things we have to feel out the guest and their personality and make sure that they're comfortable with it.
If you get like 5 or 6 Brewery of the Year awards, then you're pretty
pretty good in your own skin.
You got thick.
The hard part is trying to find because so we did it first with James Costa at Half Moon Bay, and then which was great. But a lot of the beers, he's like, I wasn't even around for this.
Yeah.
This beer. Like, we don't even make this beer anymore.
Right.
We haven't made it since before, but it was still funny.
Sure.
And then I forget who I tried to do it with the next time. It's like, I can't find anything even remotely terrible in these reviews, and so I kind of got discouraged. I was honestly surprised that we got some of those with Julian's, and they weren't like this beer is shitty, but it is more like it needs more malt. Like you're trying to tell Julian what his beer needs.
Easy on the Cascade, and he's like, it's all Simcoe,
right?
That kind of thing.
Exactly.
I don't like IPAs, but this beer was bitter. 2 stars.
Yeah. 2 stars. So I do think we could have a lot more fun with that segment. What I really want actually is a brewer with thick skin, but kind of like me, where they have thick skin, but also can really just go off the fucking deep end if someone says the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Like I want to have one read that, where like they're cool to read them all, but then they read just that one and they lose their shit here on the air.
Roger Davis might be.
Yes, Roger's there. Okay, that's a good example.
That's exactly what I was going to say. We haven't had Roger here in a while.
I want Roger to read his reviews because he's the guy who can take it, but will also go off the deep end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Fuck this guy.
Fuck you.
I have in my mind the guy, I really like him. He's one of my favorite guys in brewing, even though I can't remember his name right now.
Sounds great.
The guy from Libertine Tasting.
Oh, Tyler Clark.
Tyler. I fucking love that guy. He cracks me up. Tyler seems like the guy who could sit in here and read his reviews and absolutely drive himself insane.
Dave Malavova also.
He gets some good ones.
All right. So, Chris, great advice, and I think we're gonna try to keep that on the agenda.
That'd be good.
Okay. I'll keep it in mind.
All right, Tommy J writes in, hey, arseholes, I'd like to thank you for the great shout-out to Wheeler Walker Jr.
Yeah.
That must be a JP thing.
Yeah, it wasn't on this.
We didn't actually play it.
We didn't play it. Wheeler Walker Jr. is like the country version of Steel Panthers.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
okay.
As Jody would say, Steel Panthers. But I never played it on the show because I actually think it's too dirty.
Oh,
like if you look up the song Redneck Shit by Wheeler Walker Jr. on YouTube,
it's real dirty.
It's fucking hilarious, but he talks about, blowing dudes and chicks and your sister, and it's like,
okay.
So
it's raunchy.
It's really raunchy. So I just, I wanted to run it by you, but Wheeler Walker Jr. he's pretty funny, man.
And that's fair, and not that I'm trying to, censor us all over the place, but
no, but I want like Steel Panther is more, I don't know,
tongue in cheek.
They're more, but they're more like in the 80s kind of humor or whatever. I think that kind of mindset of sexism or whatever. But Wheeler is more like, I'm going to talk about jizz right now, and in a country song with a really nice slide guitar in the background. So it's a whole different thing.
I like that. See, that if the music is really good to kind of make it
really good.
to try to like subtle it a little bit.
Yeah.
But then the overtone is just overt.
Oh my God.
It's so overt.
And without the falsetto, you can understand every word.
Oh yeah, it's blatant. It's right there. Like there's a song
about his sister, right?
There's a song about I want to basically he wants to sleep with everybody in your family tree, and
that's what it is.
And he doesn't care if it's a guy or a girl. He doesn't give a shit. Like he wants to bang your grandma and like blow your dad. And,
equal opportunity.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good compliment. I mean, he liked you so much.
Yeah, I feel like that's a nice thing.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, he's thanking you. He said the album tickled him on long journeys to work. But
I haven't laughed so hard at a song in years.
He says, in exchange, I'd like to offer you some true British culture in the form of Welsh rap group Goldie Lookin' Chain. They've released smash hits such as Your Missus is a Nutter, Ice Ice Dildo, and Your Mother's Got a Penis.
Okay.
His warning is don't listen whilst operating heavy machinery.
All right.
That's from Tommy J. So I did look it up. I might have some of it here.
A snippet?
From Goldie Lookin' Chain. I'm trying to see if one of the songs here is something he mentioned.
Or won't be offensive.
Yeah.
I
think Your Mother Has a Penis would be a good. I think it's pretty well on the nose.
It's not here. I don't have it in
the penis or your mom?
I don't have anything that he...
Well, throw out some song titles.
Is there a title that like jumps out at you?
You'll Never Be Alone at Christmas. You Make Me Puke.
That's a good one. Let's
you
try
want to try that?
Sounds promising.
I'll take a few bars of that.
I can name that tune.
What's up?
Really? Cue it up, baby.
So far, I love it.
Yeah, is this how all British music sounds like?
I'm actually undecided about it.
I like the beer. It's kind of weak. You know,
Ooh.
Tell you what, if this is the Beatles' first release, they would never made it anywhere.
Oh, I get it now.
Who?
Well, everything
There's
is
a loose wire.
Everything's functioning over here. Were you able to play music on the computer while I was gone?
Yeah, everything is fine. Maybe you got some on mute. I don't know.
Oh, there's that little thing, that little button with a, it's got that.
Like in the player, maybe?
Yeah.
I got it.
Well, you could just look at Wheeler Walker Jr., redneck shit, and, we can just get it over with.
Okay. Huh. I'll try one more here.
All right.
Well, it's not working. The computer's not playing audio.
Or can you click the little icon that has a little speaker on it?
Yeah, I did. All right. All right. Well, thank you. Folks at home, you can go look up Goldie Lookin' Chain via Tommy. Thanks.
Yeah, sure.
All right. This one is titled, it's from Marcus in D.C., titled Fuck Those Fuckers.
Wow.
JP, Justin, Tacey, Doc, Bevo, and Beardy. The next time someone uses the phrase proprietary process, cut them off. Thank them for their time and move on to beer news and the Twitter game. It takes a lot of gall for a brewer to sit there and enjoy a 90-minute public relations blowjob while holding back on the info people really want to hear. I don't know how many 2-year-old breweries there are in this country, but I'll bet a bunch of them would be glad to honestly talk shop in exchange for the exposure of a session appearance. Avoid the unwilling, he says. And if you can't, start issuing trigger warnings at the beginning of the shows. It's a real boner killer when someone pulls that shit. Thanks for hearing me out, and keep up the great work, Marcus in D.C. So I guess that's come up before when brewers won't share their secrets.
Yeah.
Frankly, Marcus, I don't have the same opinion as you do. I don't really take a hard line anymore when people don't want to say things. I do think occasionally it strikes me the things people do want to withhold. They don't make a lot of sense to me sometimes.
Right.
But, it's a business, and people have an opinion about how it should be run, and I wouldn't tell them otherwise, I guess is what I'm saying.
They don't want to divulge their pale ale recipe, which is like 2 malts and a yeast.
Yeah. Well, right. Now, Marcus, I do hear your point, though, where you're saying, you wish I could give a disclaimer at the beginning or that we should avoid these folks. Unfortunately, we don't really know going in most of the time. It's very rare that we've been given a heads up that, hey, this brewer doesn't say shit.
Right.
And so we
Normally
get into
we'd be comfortable asking them ahead of time.
Right. Hey,
if there's proprietary processes that he wouldn't want us to talk about.
That's true, because frankly, I get more out of them by just talking.
Yeah, and they might change their mind in the middle of the show. So
That's right.
And sometimes it's not the brewer. It's like
the owner.
Their marketing guy or the owner.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's happened more in recent years than in early years. In early years, when we would get it, it wasn't like some owner. It was the brewer. I think in recent years, now that structures have changed, a lot of times, you're right, Doc. So I don't know that this is a problem I can fix, is what I'm saying. Right. All we can do is do our best. And but I hear your point. I wish I could say,
we're uncomfortable with it as well. But it's just
well, yeah, you feel you can't pry it out of them at this point because they just invoked the fifth.
Right.
It's like, oh, we can't talk about this anymore.
I do hope it comes across that when we run into that, we try to at least be pretty quick to just then move things along. Like, we know right away when our interviewee isn't going to give us interesting material for the listener, and we do try to speed things up at that point.
Yeah.
And I hope that comes across, and if not, maybe I'll do a little better. Because, when we run up against that wall, none of us are happy about it either.
Right. Well, and I know some of the people have said, like, it's not their call.
Right.
So it might be like the owners or the people more higher up.
Back to the thing where it's the owners or the suits.
Yeah,
their call.
They don't want you to give that secret.
Oh, had you just said that?
Yeah.
No, I tuned out. Sorry. I was like preparing the news, and I'm just like, And then I decided to jump in and be relevant.
Now, that doesn't mean, Marcus, it doesn't mean you shouldn't write in your feedback like that. I do
for
appreciate
sure.
I more just want you to know. I want you to know where we are with it. It's always
it bugs us too.
Yeah, it does bug us. But I think you shouldn't stop you from writing in and letting us know that you don't like it.
But also,
I feel like at that point we should just start guessing at what the process is, and they can just tap on the table.
Yeah. Well, I'm always trying to put myself in somebody else's shoes and try to figure out if I do the same thing. And I'll tell you this. People write to me and ask, hey, I want to start a podcast. Can you tell me all about the equipment that you use? Tell me everything you do.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I don't do it either. And there's a couple reasons. For one, I don't have time for that shit. Do your research. There's a reason that people become successful, and I think that most often that reason is that they're willing to put in the time and effort to do so.
Right.
Now, I know that our show is about education, so we're in a little bit of a gray area here. But in some ways, I don't mind when a brewer doesn't really spell out from A to Z, just like when I get written from a fledgling podcaster that wants me to write from A to Z my audio chain. I don't do it.
Yeah.
I might point them in the right direction. Here's a couple resources, and you ought to do your work.
Well, I think like with that analogy, it would be more like, hey, Mr. Brew guy, I want to set up a brewery. How do I do it? Tell me how to do it.
Right, yeah.
Versus like if the podcaster was like, hey, I have all the stuff, but I want to know how the show is formed, like how you move your format along, or maybe some hosting tips and like how to some process tips working within the equipment that they already have.
Yeah.
I think that might be very different.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll give you that. And I've gotten those questions, too.
Yeah.
I've gotten, like, the hosting and interview tips question.
And you shit on it?
I don't know how to answer it, to be honest with you.
Right.
I have no fucking idea what I do.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things, like, I don't know.
Well, or even more specifically, like, what app do you use to run all the commercials?
Yeah.
How about I went to college and I learned all this shit? You should too.
So that's part of my deal. That's kind of my point, Doc. And I agree with you too, JP. It's like we're in this gray area.
Yeah.
And I think the brewers are a little bit in a gray area. Where they are willing to share information, but they're not about to write the playbook for the next brewer. Go figure it out.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm not shitting on your commentary, Marcus.
No.
I'm actually just saying that I fall in between what you're saying.
Right. I mean, I understand if you have certain processes that you developed over years and you've put a lot of man hours from the brewery into developing a better way to dry hop.
Right.
You may not want to give that up. Okay, sure, that's fine.
But then there are others who come in here and they won't say shit about shit. Like Doc said, you're
paleo recipe.
Really, your paleo that's like nothing?
Yeah.
And then, you know what, Marcus? You're right. Fuck you.
Right.
Like, just... Yeah.
But I think we haven't had one of those people in a long time.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like the recipe thing. But I think this is all like process stuff.
Yeah.
I forget.
What's their little secret? And they just went,
Probably what stirred this up was the proprietary way that one of the breweries we had on recently prepared their coffee beans.
Yeah, right.
Right. Who was that? Do you remember?
I forget. It was the Minnesota brewery. Is it in
Insight?
Of course it was.
Insight.
Oh, they're actually in our next email, I think, or about our next email. So,
that may have been, and I totally get it because that coffee beer was really good.
It was really good,
and it tasted kind of different than any other coffee beer. So it was really cool.
And you know what else? I was gonna say all their process that they wouldn't say how they did it was how they sanitized the coffee beans before,
without killing the flavor,
before putting it in the beer. Which there's a bunch of ways.
That's okay.
That you can do
I'm
that.
all right with that.
And let me tell you something else, and I know this for a fact. There are brewers who answer the question, I will not give you my proprietary information. All right? And so now it's clear as day that they're holding something back. There are other brewers that just hold something back, but you don't fucking know it.
Right.
Yes.
Like you're talking about, JP, they might have some miraculous dry hopping technique, and we'll all ask questions. They will give us 7 out of 10 of those steps.
Or describe a way that they're really not using.
Exactly. And I know for a fact that happens. So in some ways, at least those brewers, not that it's dishonest to do that, but at least the brewers who say, I'm not going to tell you that, others will say, kind of tell you that they're telling everything, and they're not.
Well,
in other words, almost every brewer who comes in here holds back a little bit.
Yeah, and I think you have to. And if you remember years, maybe it was this show, maybe it was a conversation, I can't remember, but Vinny, Russian River, when they were doing all their Belgian-style beers, they had that kind of flat-bottom tank. And they don't. At one point, he was like, "No, we don't do that anymore. We've learned how to work the yeast in conical tanks to get the same flavors."
Yeah.
And we're like, "How? I'm not telling you."
Okay. Yeah.
That I understand.
And is that a guy who hasn't given a ton of information?
Right.
Absolutely not.
Right.
So I would say the same about a guy like Matt Brynelson, who comes in here and
done that before.
He'll say almost everything.
Yeah.
You don't know what he's holding back.
Yeah.
By the way, the guy's probably holding more back than most brewers will ever learn.
Sure. And probably not on purpose. Yeah. You know, we haven't got the right question out, right?
He just assumes everybody knows.
Probably. Yeah. I would say that's a fair assessment.
Anyway, I do appreciate the feedback, and you're right. I just try to give a little perspective to the whole thing.
For sure.
All right, Clayton
but also
writes
fuck
in.
You, Marcus. Kidding.
Clayton writes in about BNA 12, and I guess this comes from the Insight Brewing Show, because he says, if you want to visit Insight Brewing and have BNA 12 in Minneapolis, why not just do both at the same time? Have BNA 12 at Insight. Didn't he say that the property was 20,000 square feet? Done. You're welcome.
Probably.
Clayton.
That sounds right.
So that brings me to a little discussion about BNA 12. I don't know if BNA 12 is going to happen.
You say that most years.
I do. But now
we're up till the moment.
But now you're feeling it a little stronger.
I am, especially because we're later than even most years. And there is a staffer that is not often on the show or mentioned that is supposed to be working on that, and I don't know what the status of it is. So my thought is, we're in a bit of a
transitional period.
A bit of a transitional period.
Okay.
So the lowdown on BNA 12 is this. There are a couple places that I'm going to reach out to, and if we can make it happen like we did last year, where the venue sort of takes care of everything, the beer and everything, because legally it's just always such a fiasco, then there will be a BNA 12. And in fact, I might reach out to Insight. Thank you, Clayton, for writing this in. I think it's a good idea. I think...
the beers are good, dude. I think you would really like them.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other one on my list, frankly, is Surly. Basically, what has happened is I thought this was being taken care of. It is not. It's now on my plate. I will reach out to these couple of places, and if we can make something happen, I'll give you a BNA 12. But we got a lot of balls in the air. A lot of projects going on right now. The BNA party is a lot of fun for us and for you, but
it is for you,
and mostly for you. But not a lot of return on our investment. And and unfortunately, I got to be careful about that kind of thing nowadays because my life is short.
He's saving for retirement.
I'm not trying to spend it. Anyhow, I'm working on it, but I'm just I'm just trying to be honest. We might skip 12 and jump into lucky number 13.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Or maybe just have an informal thing.
Well, no matter what, I'll set up a meet and greet somewhere.
Okay.
All right?
We'll be in town that night.
Sterling is a really beautiful place. I don't know if you've been yet. Oh, you've been?
No, but that's what I've been hearing.
I've been online.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've seen the interweb.
Yeah, they've got a really nice place. Huge beer hall. The view's great of the brew house and everything.
They're on my phone call list for this week, and Insight is now on my phone call list. Thank you, Clayton.
Yeah, they have that golden coffee ale. It was like 5% or 5.5%. It's just so fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So basically, if Bevo and I can pull this off, we will. But just the notice is so short, and I don't want to scramble and do a half-ass party. I don't like doing, despite popular opinion, I don't like doing things half-ass.
We put a lot of effort into our parties.
So we know how to party. So stay tuned, and I appreciate that input about Insight. It's now on the list, and I'll see if I can make something happen.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Even if it is an informal, hey, come down to Insight.
Yeah, come on.
Or Surly or whatever.
Like I said, at the very least, that's what we'll do.
No tickets, no nothing.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
Just come have a beer with us. We'll just hang out.
Actually, it might be cool to have just the BNA 12 off-year T-shirt sale and like put it up on like TeePublic or some shit or CODIS or whatever.
Just be like in a hospital bed. And just like it's our off year.
That'd be good.
Oh, yeah, we could make a shirt out of that.
Yeah. Same time next year?
Maybe.
Or you could have the shirt instead of having like the number that's on there, like it would be 12. Just have it blank.
I love
the Justin Crossley Memorial T-shirt.
Yes.
Or it'll be BNA 12's a hospital gown.
How fucking funny would that be? Especially, all right, if we do a Justin Crossley Memorial T-shirt this year at NHC, I can't actually show up until like Saturday. You see what I mean? Because it starts on like Wednesday night, and you got to leave people wondering.
You're just trying to get out of work.
Yeah, right.
Well, it does have that bonus.
Well, they start seeing more and more of those T-shirts around the conference.
People are like, "Oh, wait, really?"
It'll be like Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh my God! Are you guys doing okay?
You know, there are some people who actually care about me, and they will be devastated to see.
No, they just want to make sure they get a T-shirt.
And those are the people I want to fuck with.
Right.
So this is fantastic. Huh. Okay.
Huh.
We could sell a lot of T-shirts.
You don't have to go to Saturday. You could probably go to just Friday night.
Just Friday night? Just show up at club night?
Yeah. How about this? You just go disguised the whole week?
Yes.
And something else.
Different disguises.
You can just be fat. And
what can I really be disguised as? I'm pretty distinctive caveman.
Fat suits. Just
suit,
like mustache.
More
glasses.
beard.
Okay.
Yeah.
More beard.
Old man. Like really
no
old
man bun.
Oh, I love it.
No man
bun.
There's, like Grogtag has the Bottle Boy costume. You could just walk around in that.
Oh, yeah.
And no one would ever know.
Oh yeah, you could be Bottle Boy.
Yeah.
What's the guy who disappeared that everyone thinks is still alive? I'm like
Simmons.
I'm like the Andy Kaufman of the homebrew world.
I think they were D.B. Cooper. I was like, sure, fucking go for it.
Bevo, nobody else gives a fuck about Richard Simmons. I say guy who disappeared, and what comes to mind for Bevo is, you mean Richard Simmons? Yeah, he's gone missing.
Came out and said, no, I'm just at home.
For the last 3 years?
Yeah.
How about the last 15?
Who's been talking about Richard Simmons gone missing?
It's a very popular podcast.
It's a very popular podcast.
And it's on the cover of People magazine right now.
Okay.
Suck it.
I'd like to see that cover.
Wait, no one's seen him for the last 3 years?
Breaking news
He's made
here.
no public appearances.
I mean, because no one cares.
It's true. That's, honestly, I didn't know about it.
Here on the session.
He stopped going on Stern, and
probably
no one gives a shit.
I didn't know about Eric, our bartender, told me about it. I had no idea that he was missing in action until last week.
I gotta go fire Eric. Doesn't he have fucking anything to do besides?
Did he just get a promotion? Now he's listening to podcasts.
Pokemon.
Yeah. By the way, I like how Ben referred to him as the bartender.
He's our general manager now. The bartender. Actually, I'm the same though. I'm like, fuck that guy. He's a bartender.
His copy of People magazine hit his doorstep, and man, he needed to talk about it.
Yeah, with Bevo.
Call her up right away.
Bevo, I'm so glad you're here.
The only one that would listen.
Oh my God! Did you know that nobody has heard from Richard Simmons?
Have you heard from him?
Yes, he called me last week. We exercised.
Did you Google that shit right away?
I did. I went to his Wikipedia.
Oh, my God.
I'm not even kidding.
Bevo, do I have a phone call?
You do. It's a Drunk of the Week call.
Okay.
I told him we were doing feedback.
After the break? Oh.
Let's just do it. Why not? Looks like we have Joe from Virginia. Joe, what's happening?
Hey, Just, you could be more enthusiastic if some fucker's actually calling in.
You're right. You're right. I'd stand correct. You're absolutely right. How are you? Let me try this again. Joe, what's happening, my brother? What have you been drinking tonight?
So I've been drinking your favorite beer of all time, Pale 31.
Okay. I like this.
I work for the distributor that sells Pale 31, and fucking Firestone is pulling it back. So I bought the last 50-liter keg of Pale 31 at Firestone.
Be honest with me. Did you buy it or did you steal it?
Whoa.
I got one of my accounts to sell to me for cost.
Okay.
So I paid $146 for it.
That's fair. That's
instead
fair.
of a markup.
That's what I
So
pay, and I own the fucking bar. I still have to pay $146.
I'm just a drunk, and that's what I pay. So I drank 2.5 pitchers of it tonight, and I killed my keg.
2.5
so I'm very
pitchers.
sad.
Okay.
How big are you?
Yeah, what size?
What's your girth?
I'm 6'4", 260 pounds.
Okay, exactly. That's why there's 2.5 pitchers going.
260?
It's a big boy.
260. I'm a big guy. My dad's like 6'5". He's a massive guy.
I'm kind of big now. I was on steroids, you know.
I heard about that.
You're pumped.
I had most of myself, and I dealt with it with a lot of steroids and a lot of other pills many years ago.
Fellow juice head.
It sucked.
You're an idiot.
I'm a juice head. Bevo, I'm a juice head now. I'm a juice head.
How much are you procking? What's going on?
Is that a bench press?
I don't know. I think it's like your sups and newts and stuff like that.
I don't even know what those things are. What are you? Where are you?
I thought you were juice head.
You guys are so stupid.
I got a lot of catching up to do.
What's your steroids and the muscle milk?
What's your
I forgot the muscle milk.
Yeah, what's your keto regimen? What the fuck? Come on, we need the info.
Tasty, had I done all that, I just would have come in bloated and like retaining water and fat as fuck.
Like Martin Short as Jiminy Glick.
What's up, guys? I'm just on my second barrel of muscle milk this week. Don't they come in like big barrel?
Day?
Like it's a jar.
I don't know. I think it's an average thing. Do I look like I drink muscle milk?
Did I miss that in Beer News? Pale 31, they discontinued it? Is that what's going on?
Oh, yeah. Wait, what the fuck, Joe?
He said it was out of date.
Out of date.
So what I heard is
Firestone
is putting back Pale 31 and making it basically a West Coast beer, and they're not distributing on the East Coast anymore.
Oh,
good.
So I saw there were 2 kegs left in Virginia because I work for the distributor. So I bought one of them, and it wound up being the last keg of Pale 31 in Virginia available to sell.
Wow.
And I got it, and I brought it home.
It sounds like a sexual experience for you.
You've been drinking the shit out of it.
But the funny thing is, if you look on Untapped, you open up Untapped on your computer, you can see, I am number 1 on Untapped check-ins for Pale 31 out of anybody else.
That a boy.
That's like my pride moment. I currently kicked my buddy's ass, who was up there with me. It came down to a contest because I used to get 6 barrels of Pale 31, but I got the last fucking 50-liter of Pale 31. And the shitty thing was, I have a really small...
I'm glad this is the third iteration of his story, and we asked him to do it a second time.
Well,
he's like the neighbor.
One point of clarification. I didn't want the whole story.
Exactly. I don't need your fucking life story. He's like the neighbor that stands at the bottom of your driveway, and you keep trying to walk away.
Still talking.
Hey, we got to get together for game night.
Yeah, you're like, oh, my kid's drowning in the bathtub. He's like, I know. So then remember the time. Jesus.
Oh, Rico's like that.
Actually, Joe, you're doing great.
Yeah. Well, you're doing something.
I'm trying. I'm doing well. This is if I win tonight, this is my 3rd DOTW.
Oh, shit.
For all the years I've been alive. I'm close. I won a few times before, so...
Okay.
When I drink, I fucking drink.
Were you drinking Pale 31 those times?
You, me, both.
Not those times. That was back when I was living in Chicago and in Wisconsin, and I couldn't get Pale 31 back in those days because they didn't distribute out here. But now it's all about Pale 31.
Joe, we're having them send all the 805 they can your way.
There you go.
We're not crazy about it.
805 so bad.
You want it bad?
We can't get 805 here, but I want it so bad just to try it.
How bad?
It's not that big a deal.
I will trade you whatever East Coast beers you want for a fucking 805. I don't want to
you got better beers out there.
That's not worth it.
All right, we'll think
I
about
want to try it. I've heard it's shitty, but I want to have it really bad.
Ask for samples.
It's fine.
It's a nice blonde ale.
He's wound up real tight.
He's fucking wound up.
He had 2.5 pitchers of Pale 31.
Yeah,
dude.
I think he's looking at 2.5 pictures, and he just we loathes it with his accent.
64-ounce pitchers because my fucking keg died. That's the only reason I finished that. Now I'm drinking a barrel-aged Old Grass Mutant because that's what I had in my fridge.
Because it was on the bottom shelf in the back of the fridge.
Because I started to feel normal for a second.
I grabbed it. I was like, it's the one thing I could have. And like, not chill with my wife.
Oh, my God. Story of my life. You had too much to drink to go to the store, and I'm just like, all right, what's in the back of the fucking fridge? And at that point, you don't care.
No, because you don't taste it anyway.
You should really drink bourbon. You won't have that
I
problem.
don't have any bourbon.
Not you fucking dingus.
I have 5 Johnny Walker Blue in my house, man. I got some good scotch.
Your show.
I had 2.5 pitchers of bourbon.
All right, Joe, you are in the running for Drunk of the Week.
Thank you, Justin.
Stay tuned. The winner will be announced
All
later.
right, buddy. I gotta go.
In the year.
That's right. We will announce the winner later in the program. Thank you for the phone call. That was a good one. I like it.
Yeah.
I like Joe. Jester Homebrew writes in, but there's a bunch of just nice things about us. And who
thank you
wants
very
to hear
much.
That? Yeah, that was very nice.
Thank you. That's so nice.
I will say that in the second half, he's also saying my second thanks is to the sponsors of the Brewing Network. He says, I'm at More Beer Concord showroom at least once a week. Also, I just ordered and received the Mash and Boil from Williams Brewing Company, and I can't wait to ditch my self-dubbed Redneck Brew in a bag system that I pieced together over the last 2 years. So anyhow, thank you for all the support. He also says, I entered the NHC for the first time this year after binge listening to Dr. Homebrew. JP.
Yes, that's right. God damn it.
He said it left me with a huge desire to get some professional feedback on my beer.
There you go.
So not only his first national homebrew competition, but his first competition overall.
Nice.
So
What
he
categories?
says, thanks again and cheers. It's not in there. I don't know. That's from Jester Homebrew.
I think he entered the Grodzitsky category.
Motherfucker. Dude, can we... Oh, I'm so upset.
What?
Got a beer problem?
There's regions.
Another problem?
There's regions already having results.
Yeah, and you haven't even been judged yet.
Resulting regions.
Yeah, for first round.
It's not like
our region won't even be judged for 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm really panicking about my
One more
Grodzitsky.
week. I think it was 4th through the 7th or whatever it is.
7th, 8th.
Yeah.
He's worried about the freshness.
I'm worried about the freshness.
I talked to the dude.
The dude?
And the guy that's judging him.
Oh, the coordinator?
Is that legal? Is that allowed?
Huh?
Is that okay?
You had entries?
Okay.
He's also the Pico.
Mike or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He says he puts them where the fresher beers that should be fresher. They judge those first. And
good.
And the other ones like the lagers and stuff, they can hold cold a little longer. He judges those last.
Well, that's good.
That's
smart.
good. I'm still concerned.
He knows what he's doing.
But that's the day of.
Right.
No. They have to brew them. They have to judge night after night after night.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes. And
What is a Deborah Gretzky? It's like is that a lager?
I went to high school with her.
That's pretty good for first time.
I'm Deborah Gretzky.
Is that a lager or
no?
Is it ale?
It's a 3.3% smoked wheat beer.
Where'd you put that?
We got to drink it. We had
In the historical Pivo Grodzitsky.
Do you like
category.
that style?
I
or
do.
You did
I
it
drank all the keg.
Okay.
Both. I did it because I figured no one else is going to do this.
What category?
Yeah.
27, which is historical beer, which I realized I shot myself in the foot because then it's also like London Porter and all these other things that are
there's a
judged.
bunch of them.
So we'll see. I'm just a little concerned that there's other regions coming in and mine won't even be judged for 2 more weeks. And I'm just
looking at that. I was looking at that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, please.
That's all right.
Please continue.
They're on East Coast time, by the way.
One more. This might be for... Well, I guess Beardy and Tasty could help out with this one.
Maybe.
SoCal Surfer, Matt writes in. It's about hop choices. Dear guys and the Beeve, been a listener since episode 1, and except for this ridiculous job I do every day, you're the only thing I've done for 11 years consistently.
He must not be married.
There's something else he's probably done.
No, masturbation.
I doubt it. Yeah, and that and masturbation. I've not one bad thing to say about your show, except
the one bad thing
for that damn beard. which thankfully I can avoid by not watching the video. So, that being said, I was listening to Jamil somewhere, and he was commenting on choosing hop varieties that are not proprietary hops. Yes. Which, of course, those are hops that are trademarked and not everyone can grow and things like that. Yeah. So, after the hop meltdown of whenever the hell that was, I still have Cascade pellets vacuum sealed in my freezer. Being a cheap SOB, I'm concerned about price as well as availability. So, here you go, guys. The question: what new non-proprietary hop varieties do any of you recommend? And he actually goes on to what flavors can I expect, but that's getting to be a long question. Do either of the two of you know about some non-proprietary hop varieties that might be available and recommendable? Beardy, what do you think?
That he wants to grow, or that?
Oh, I don't know. I think he just wants to
buy on the market.
I think he just wants to buy on the market.
Yeah.
You know,
that are not. They're the USDA hops, not the proprietary.
And they haven't spiked in price yet, that kind of thing.
I don't know. That's kind of a weird question to ask.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I mean, most hops are non-proprietary, aren't they? It's only like...
Some act like they are, like the imports, like Galaxy or something.
No.
Right.
And they're in short supply.
And at least with the literature that I get pushed a lot now, they don't really say whether they were developed in the USDA public program or if they were developed and are trademarked rhizomes. And it's just like, hey, here's this new variety. Some people will say you get blueberry and tangerine out of it. You should try it. And then you get a little sample of it, and it smells like skunk and onion. And you're just like, no, thanks.
Okay.
So I really, it's one of those things that I could tell you some that I know the names aren't trademarked, the actual names, but I don't know that they're actually publicly grown.
Okay. So in other words, the information's proprietary.
Exactly. I could tell you, but I can't.
No, I thought this might happen. It's kind of a loaded question, and unfortunately, I mean, SoCal Surfer, what the fuck your name is. I don't know if you're a pro brewer or not, but
pro surfer.
A long time.
You don't know.
You might have to ask your hop distributor. Or call the guys up at More Beer. I bet they can help you out. A wonderful sponsor, More Beer.
They know.
Go check them out. All right, that's our feedback for this week. Thank you, everybody, for writing in. We appreciate it. It helps add content to the show, and we do want to hear what you have to say, despite popular belief, because we tend to ridicule you.
That's true.
We like it when you send that stuff in. So thanks. And thanks to John over at BeerLawCenter.com for supporting that segment. Also, remember those guys at GrogTag?
Yes.
Good people over there at GrogTag. Well, you know, GrogTag has amazing labels designed by professional designers who designed professional things. But did you know that they have loads of label templates that you can upload your own images into? And by the way, I can vouch for that because back when we were doing the
Brewcaster or something, I can't remember. It's been so long.
We never finished it either.
The only reason I was able to, and I think I even won a label competition or two. And the only reason I was able to do it at all is because they had templates, and then you could just go find like the creepy images that everybody knows how to find, and put them on their templates. It was super cool process. I really enjoyed it. It did make it easy. I never would have made my own beer label without it.
Right.
Well, GrogTag has those templates, or you know, if you're smarter than I am, or at least more talented, you can design your very own label and have GrogTag print them on their durable and reusable labels. So you can do all of that. Head over to grogtag.com today and use code BNARMY, B-N-A-R-M-Y, BNARMY, and you'll get 10% off your purchase of some amazing custom labels. That's grogtag.com, and it's a cool product that they do. I remember even when we started the BN thing, you know, it was before GrogTag existed.
Absolutely, yeah.
And going to homebrew competitions and seeing like everyone's custom labels and stuff, and you know, on a rare occasion they were super cool. But most times they were like this.
It's like MS Paint,
and also just like this papery, melting mess of ink.
Yeah, because the ink would run when it condensate, right? Yeah.
And so I like the entrepreneurship of guys like GrogTag who go in there like, well, this sucks, and I think I can fix that.
Yeah,
and that's how you get GrogTag. So go check it out. They're really cool labels and good supporter of this program. All right, how about a little break?
Yes, please. I have to pee again.
And then we'll come back and we'll do some beer news and...
Chabra.
Yeah. Hang in there. It's The Session. We'll be back shortly.
You're listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and freshest ingredients and the best customer service in the business. Check out their brand new patent-pending mash and boil 110-volt electric mashing and boiling unit. This compact all-stainless unit lets you mash, sparge, and boil just about anywhere that has a 110-volt plug. Double-wall construction adds to efficiency and safety, and a precise thermostat keeps temperatures where you want them. Unlike insulated buckets and converted coolers, multiple temperature rest mashing is easy to do, all for under $300. They also feature the Mark II work pump, a magnetic drive high-temperature pump that does the work of pumps that cost twice as much, as well as exclusive Brewer's Edge regulators and quality Keg King kegs and disconnects. Check them out today at williamsbrewing.com to brews their vast selection. With over 20 years of experience making world-class craft beer and more than 100 gold medals in international competitions, Moylan's Brewing Company is not just a pretty face in craft beer. Just ask Brendan Moylan.
What do we got here? The beer of the hour. Moylan's, gotta love that big M. It's like a sign of awesomeness. Woo-hoo! It's got an extra kick to it. Let's pour this bad boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, Moylan's. The end of the night when the kids are finally in bed, the wife's in bed, nobody's bothering your ass anymore. That's Moylan's time. Moylan's is for you. Yeah. It's to help you out. Yeah. It helps me out.
What?
Well, because it's freaking awesome. Northern California brewed. It's brewed with love.
With love?
Oh, yeah. Tremendous. And it's always best where?
Moylan's.
You gotta try it. On tap at Moylan's in Novato. They're friggin' awesome. Not only because I own the brewery, because I love the beer.
Cheers!
Boom.
Kilt Lifter Scotch Ale takes big beers to a whole new level with rich malt balanced perfectly with delicate hops, and now comes in 4-pack tall boy cans so you can take the party on the go. Or come to the brewery, take a tour, and try any of Moylan's fresh creations right from the source. Check them out at moylans.com.
BN Army, have you heard the latest at Hop Tech? Since Hop Tech has doubled in size after a huge expansion, Jade and Roberto can stock even more of the best quality homebrewing supplies and equipment. Over 60 kick-ass varieties of hops and malts, monster truckloads of quality brewer's yeast, including White Labs, Y-yeast, and multiple dry yeasts. They even have all grain systems from Grain Fathers and Ruby Street Brew Systems, thanks to Jade, the brand new all-grain brewer. And don't forget about their 10% discount to all BN Army members. Jade and Roberto are waiting for you and all of your brewing questions over at hoptech.com. Hoptech, totally not sucking since 1983.
Hey guys, what'll it be?
I'm not sure. What do you recommend?
A lot of people seem to like the Hefeweizen.
Is that a German Hefeweizen or more of an American-style wheat beer?
I'm not sure, but I can give you a taste.
Okay, great.
The Cicerone Certification Program certifies and educates beer professionals in order to elevate the beer experience for consumers. Unfortunately, not every bar is staffed with certified beer servers who can guide their customers through a beer list.
Here you go, guys. Let me know what you think of the Hefeweizen.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely more of an American wheat. But I can hardly tell because this beer just smells like sour butter. I wonder how long it's been since they cleaned the draft line.
Yeah, and look at the bubbles on the side of the glass. It's filthy.
Somebody should tell these guys about the Cicerone program.
For sure. How about we head somewhere else for another beer?
Your server should give beer the same respect you do. Request quality. The Cicerone Certification Program offers 4 levels of beer certification, in-person classes, and course books for beer professionals. Check them out at cicerone.org. The Cicerone Certification Program. We know beer.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamel Zainashev, and I want to tell you about Heretic Evil Twin. You might be familiar with my homebrew recipe, which uses massive late hopping to create a balance between the malty sweet and the hoppy bitter, along with an outrageous malt and hop character. I wanted a beer with the same bold hop and malt character, so we played around with the homebrew recipe until we were able to make a great commercial version too. We've created a beer rich in malt character, full of caramel, toast, biscuit, and an ever so subtle roast note. On top of that, we piled in an insane amount of Citra and Columbus hops at the end of the boil, as well as in dry hopping. This damn-the-cost approach to hopping gives Heretic's Evil Twin a great blast of citrus and tropical fruit that can't be matched by any other hop. The result is a bold, malty, hoppy, but easy-drinking beer. This is our top seller, our flagship beer, and I couldn't be prouder of it. Cheers.
To find Heretic beers near you, click on Find Some at hereticbrewing.com.
Hey, this is Julian Trego from Beechwood Brewing, and you are listening to The Session on the Brewing Network.
All right, welcome back to the show, and thanks for sticking with us. We got just a couple of things left to do, including to let you know about craftbeer.com. They have a beer and food course over at craftbeer.com.
Awesome.
Yeah, the craftbeer.com beer and food course is the groundbreaking course that leads professionals and enthusiast chefs alike through the basics of pairing beer and food. The craft beer and food course was built by a Culinary Institute of America graduate. My brother went to the Culinary Institute of America, as a matter of fact. Great school, one of the best in the U.S. It is one of the best culinary schools in the world.
How's his food?
As I understand. You know what?
Is your brother in there?
The kid can cook.
Nice.
Even though they knew who you were.
They let my brother in, yeah. Actually, funny thing is, when he went, there was a little homebrew or brewing contingent among the school. They all knew about the BN. he was like famous class kid because of me, because of his brother.
Right.
But he's the older brother, so how fucked up is that? Like, my whole life, I was like, I'm Anthony's brother. Yeah. And now in adult life, he's Justin's brother.
Right. Does he still sound? Did he sound like you just did?
Yes.
I'm Justin's brother.
Yeah. His voice changed
every time.
There are two versions of the food course. There's a professional version made for chefs, restaurateurs, and brewers, also hospitality professions, and then there's an enthusiast version for at-home chefs, which I'd be interested in taking. Learn how to pair beer with your favorite foods, including chocolate, charcuterie, and cheese. Oh, you fucking had me at charcuterie. And you'll get to you'll get to know beer styles, see data and stories that will convince you that full flavored beer deserves a place on the menu, along with wine and spirits. So. Oh, and by the way, the best thing about all of it, the course is free.
What?
That's right. The beer and food course over at craftbeer.com is
say that
free.
First? I'd have paid much more attention.
That's right. Go check it out.
Start with that next time.
Craftbeer.com.
So all food and beer, well, that's good. People should know the basics about beer and food.
Right.
Pairing.
Especially.
And you can get it free. Great.
Yeah, even better.
Don't go geeking out on beer with me if you're not going to go learn the basics of beer and food.
Yeah.
Because you got to eat.
Everybody listens to this should be able to go out and tell other people stuff about beer.
That's right.
Pass it on.
You don't have to eat.
My skin's
but you have
really
to drink?
Oily. Like, look at that.
The roids.
I could lube my Volkswagen with my forehead.
Are those the steroids like coming out of your pores?
I don't know.
Roids.
They're coming out.
I'm done with the roids.
It'll keep you looking youthful.
Is that how you come down?
I feel like
lick it.
I can like.
You feel like a teenager.
I kind of want to rub it on my penis. I don't want to lick it.
Yeah.
Put it on your butthole.
Slide it into my.
Tighten that up.
Yeah. Forget Jergens.
Yeah.
It's Justin's forehead. The new
Justin.
Rub it across this thing.
By Menon. Okay.
By Mennonites.
So you're a collagen factory.
Something. God damn it.
It's oozing out.
It's the roids, man.
Is it?
It is.
100%.
What else is going to happen to me?
You wiped it off and it's back now.
Is there like a streak where I just did the one finger?
No, it's like
it's already back.
Oh no,
it's
it's like that void. It just goes right back.
No, it's not really.
I did notice earlier, like I was on the phone and then I pulled. I was done and then I went to text and like the phone. Like somebody sprayed WD-40. Yeah.
Well, that could have just been the pomade in your hair.
Or it could be your eyes were going a little hazy.
From
the roid.
Where you have like the imprint of the beard.
Yeah, but with the grease.
Right.
I'll take these side effects over
back
the
on the bacon
right now.
But think about all the things you're getting done.
Right? No, not as a today.
Now you're just
you're
greasy.
back on lazy?
Yeah, I'm back to useless.
Back on greasy. Coasting on greasy. That's a beer name. If you ever do a collab, coasting on greasy. That'd be good.
That's my beer.
That'd be good.
That's my brand.
Yeah.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I woke up this morning raring to go.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, half hour later, I was out of juice.
Literally.
It's me on my couch watching Law and Order.
There you go.
So you woke up, got downstairs, and that was it?
Yep.
Did you get a beer?
No. I mean, maybe.
Woke up, got out of bed, went downstairs and hit the couch.
Wiped the grease across my head. All right, how about some beer news?
How about it?
Oh, yeah, I need some news.
Do you have any?
Any good news?
Any
No,
real
I don't have any. Do you guys have any?
Do we have real news?
No.
Anything about steroids?
I'm going to give a
kidding.
thank you if we get a chance.
A thank you after the beer news?
Yeah.
Okay.
To me?
Yeah.
You can just thank me now.
Before I turn it over to JP.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate that. I appreciate being thanked for
between.
this.
Before the
I've
beer
done
news.
Yeah, after the... No, we're done.
After the beer news.
Yeah.
Did you say get a thank you?
Give out a thank
Give a thank you. Okay.
You'll get it.
You'll get it. Come on, follow along. Keep up.
Yeah, it's easy.
Do you want to make the beer news brought to us by Adam and Eve?
I would love to.
What?
Oh. What's their tagline?
I would love to.
I would love to. Yeah. I would love to.
I would love to.
What's in the headlines?
Hang on, let me figure out which one. Oh,
Speaking
here's the
of
one I'm supposed to read. Yeah, I just got to make sure you get the right promo.
Speaking of lines.
Why don't
Grease.
I don't want to tell people we're sending them a dildo when we're actually sending them a Big O kit. So I got to get the right
or butt plug.
I got to get the right copy.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, because Adam and Eve's really been sending us a lot of different things to give away.
They have. Yeah.
Like, if you listen to one of the most recent Brew Strongs, they were giving away a sex swing.
My God, I know, right?
That doesn't seem safe.
Like the spin fuck chair?
Whoa.
Yeah, that's the one.
Wow, yeah.
Same
You gotta
one.
swing my ass. Just spin it.
Spinner.
Well, swing your ass, too, if you want. I mean,
I think we're giving away the Big O kit. Adam and Eve is determined to help you spice things up in the bedroom, and they're backing up that promise. So check this out. Go to adamandeve.com, and you'll get 50% off almost any item when you enter offer code BNARMY at checkout. And that's already a good deal because, 50% off something. But backed by popular demand, and for a limited time, you'll get a free Big O kit. And who doesn't love the Big O?
I love it.
Some
like over and over again?
Yeah.
No, seriously, does anybody... I'm asking, who doesn't...
The anime
That's
is
what
really,
you're
really
doing
good.
it for is the Big O.
Maybe bartender
That's the
Eric
goal.
doesn't
That's
love
a
the
goal.
Adam and
Casey's
Eve's
right.
Big O kit includes their exclusive Climax gel, which is way better than what's oozing out of my forehead.
Oh, that's not Climax gel?
Climax gel. We have to buy that now?
You don't put it there, Justin. It goes down.
He's been doing it wrong.
They have been sending some nice products, but you're not using them.
But I'm not using them right. They don't come with enough instruction, or I can't read.
Yeah,
Most of them go in a hole. So
he's putting it on the wrong head.
Well, the Big O kit has got the Climax gel and a mini vibrator. So now you
Wait. Why do you want a mini one?
Well,
it's the Big O kit.
Because sometimes
you want to be discreet.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going for the Big O, it's not going to be discreet.
That's true.
Well, that gets her off, and what girl wouldn't love that? But you're also going to get your entire order will be sent to you for free. Which gets him off, I guess. I don't know what the fuck.
You know what guys like? Free shipping.
Free, yeah.
Okay. Choose an adult new toy, naughty movie, almost anything else. You know the deal. Go to adameve.com, use coupon code BNARMY, and get all this stuff. Okay. Let's do some news, JP. How about that?
Let's do it.
Went down in flames.
They're better.
Crash and burn.
I bet we sell more dildos when they go down in flames.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like.
People save it for the end.
They're mini dildos.
I still want to go tour their warehouse.
The warehouse, yeah.
That would be a good be on the road.
I definitely want a Segway tour of the warehouse.
Where is it? Because if it's in the Midwest, we're there.
It's in Manila.
I don't know. I'll write. I got to write to
or
the
Costa
lady.
Rica.
Yeah.
Find out where it's at.
I think you should.
We should get a goodie bag when we leave.
Hell yeah.
It's like the Oscars bag, but full of dicks.
Yeah.
Can you get a sample?
It's a bag of dicks.
That'd be great. Yeah.
A big old bag.
That you can suck. You can suck a bag of dicks.
Literally.
Yeah.
I'm getting delirious. Let's do the news because I feel like I still have some strong commentary left in me.
Okay, let's do it.
But he also feels the fading too.
Right. So this first story is a regional story, but I think it's one that could give some smaller craft brewers a leg up when it comes time to bring their beers to market. This is a quote from Richard O'Keefe, who's a senior beer buyer at a chain grocery store in Michigan.
Okay.
He says, it's becoming increasingly more competitive as we have outgrown the number of breweries in the state. Today, it's nearly impossible to bring in all craft breweries to every store in our locations. Now more than ever, buyers like O'Keefe are looking for an established demand for a new beer before putting it into a store. Meyer, which is the chain store that he works for, has 177 craft beers in its stores, 53 of which are from Michigan breweries. He says, quote, we look at how well the brewer is doing in their existing neighborhood, and we listen for any buzz that's being generated by our customers in our stores and through social media. We also look at scores from the beer rating entities like Untapped and Nextglass.
Mm-hmm. Great.
O'Keefe's, it's pretty much an entire quote.
Nextglass.
Never heard of it, but whatever.
It must be a Michigan thing.
Yeah.
The next quote says, I've received in the last 2 months more calls from European beer companies than in the last several years. They want to get into the Midwest market. It's important that the craft brewers of today and tomorrow have a strong plan on what their growth plan is for the brewery and in the state. You can no longer expect that just because you're a local craft brewer that you're going to get into the store. You need to develop a plan on how to develop your brand in the market so the retailer sees the need. Yeah. I thought it was interesting. Like it used to be crowd buzz or whatever, but they're looking at your social media activity, how many followers you have.
Yeah,
that's really helping them to determine who gets in, and I think that has to mirror what's happening all across the country, especially in our area.
And the nature of this competitive market that we've been talking about, I'd be terrified to open a brewery right now.
Yeah,
I think that the taproom model. Let me clarify. The tasting room model of your own brewery is still kind of a no-brainer. Everyone loves going to a tasting room, and if you can sell enough beer out of there, you're going to do well. But getting a tap handle somewhere else or shelf space at a retailer, I'd be terrified. And so that kind of makes sense to me that now they're looking for the buzz ones. Because let's be honest, it goes a long way, doesn't it, Tasty? People talk about
what they found is the ones that are selling well are the ones that have that. So they kind of like reverse engineer it. So we're looking for prospects that had that going. Yeah.
Which is interesting that now it's about shelf space. Before it was all about tap handles. If they only have so many tap handles in a bar, so you got to compete to even get into that bar. Now he's got 173 in that store.
Yeah.
And they're still competing to get in there. That's pretty good.
And the chain store model doesn't really accommodate local beer.
Right.
What it does accommodate is you sending a whole truckload of beer to one location and then sending it to their stores in 13, 14 counties.
Yeah.
So what they're relying on is the fact that when it gets there, they've heard of you.
Yes.
That's why you got to have the social media.
Yeah. It's 177 breweries represented. 33 are in that state.
I mean,
that's not a lot.
All that's really saying is that at the big grocery stores, they're more worried about sales per inch and don't care about quality versus brand recognition.
Well, they do because they're looking at on tap. They want people to be like, "Hey, this beer is really good. We would buy it if you have it," and they wouldn't do that.
Also, that's also assuming that Untapped people know that what beer is good.
So agree.
Yeah. Well, the guy's going to buy the beer is going to taste it first. Let's assume he knows what he's doing.
Well,
actually,
I agree. I'm going to tend to agree with Beardy on this. That you're making an assumption, Tasty, that we would hope happens, but frankly, I think that marketing is king in terms of moving beer off a shelf.
Yeah.
Now.
At a grocery store
Now,
chain.
you and I, Tasty, would go to a beer shop that we know that the buyer tastes all the beer. Yeah. And then, of course, buzz matters, too, because if the beer is good, it gets a buzz.
Right.
Sure.
But I think that what Beardy might be alluding to here is if marketing becomes king and all of that, then, shit, they might not even taste that beer. What's going to fly off the shelf?
Well, I think a brand that isn't on the shelves will get attention if they have a good ratings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, I'm big assuming that somewhere in the channel that they taste the beer and decide that, I would rather carry this brand instead of this other brand.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know who followed this model to the nth degree, whether he knew it or not? Jamil fucking Zainashev.
Yeah, Jamil.
And he's going to sound like I'm just tooting the Brewing Network's horn, but let's just talk about this model for a second. Jamil comes on this program as a home brewer, does a fantastic service to the homebrew community because he knows what he's talking about, and people really enjoy listening.
And he didn't say proprietary, did he?
And he never did that. And people really enjoyed his approach and his method of science and just really proven results, right? When the guy finally decided to open a brewery, he had let's call it a social media following, social following of beer fans all across the country. Yeah. And then, of course, he then backed it up with fantastic beer. So here's a guy who
didn't surprise anybody.
Yeah, exactly. People always knew that was going to happen. So he put all, like I said, whether he knew he was doing it or not, he put all those pieces together with a great following and then a wonderful product, and that's what happens.
Well, and here's what you don't know about the beer buyer. Let's assume, like Tasty's saying, let's assume that they're drinking the beer that they're buying. How is their palate? Do they know what good beer is?
Yeah.
That's a big assumption. Like you look at the they say for like wine rating sites, like wine rating people. Go like the singular people. Go buy some of their recommendations, try it, read their ratings, and see if you're getting the same things because your palate may not line up with their palate.
Yeah.
So the guy who's buying at fucking Safeway may not have a good palate, and he might like just terrible oxidized beer. He may not know what it is.
You're right.
And so you have a bunch of beer. You don't know if it's any good. You have to be the ultimate arbiter of what's good to you and what's not. And then it sounds like, especially in here, if it's not good, tell the store that you don't like it.
Yeah. You're right.
Be vocal. I think we need to be more vocal about the things that we don't like, which is great for me.
Can I also say that speaking of
things I don't like,
I hate this whole bit.
Speaking of social media and how you can, you realize that the Brewing Network has almost 44,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
We are a verified user. There are brands in this country with far more resources and money than this
millions and millions of dollars
that are not a verified user on Twitter.
Yeah.
We are a social media fucking powerhouse. And craft brewers, you should take note of that if you need to advertise.
That's right.
Basically, if this is the new game and you need to get your name out there and a buzz needs to grow,
JP at thebrewingnetwork.com.
Please go find another homebrew or craft beer resource or magazine that has as many
targeted on it. Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out.
Right.
And I'm not. This is not actually my normal complaint where I'm like I'm actually saying do your research, and when you're gonna spend your advertising dollars, figure that shit out.
Yeah.
This is the new media.
Yeah.
And the BN, as fucked up as we can be, we kind of kill it when it comes to getting the word out.
Yeah, take that line item out about fucking giving away branded pens.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But people love stickers.
Which is what? Like, there's pens that are like $800 in pens.
Yeah, like, dude.
That ends up in somebody's toilet.
Yeah.
Do people write on the toilet? They just read, huh? They don't write.
Well, the crossword, maybe? I don't know.
Okay, thank you. The crossword.
Sudoku. Yeah. Sudokus, there you go. See?
Thank you. All right, good.
We're going. What else can we do with pens? Everybody, come
my
on.
church does this.
That's why
I have
keep you guys around.
17 church pens sitting in the bottom of my purse.
Praise Jesus.
I'm not even kidding. Like, they're wasted on me.
Extra money.
And I think they're wasted on a lot of people.
But it comes down to
44,000 followers.
Yeah.
All right. Name. Well, okay. No, I'm not.
Justin,
I'm going to
it
screw it
comes
up.
down to four words.
Yeah.
What would Julian say?
What would he say?
I know.
There you go.
What's next?
Yeah. Thank you. That's what he would say. The new hotness in beer is not simply opening a brewery and selling beer. No. The new trend amongst beer companies is seeing how many satellite tap rooms you can open. Fieldwork, Drake's, Cali Craft, the list goes on.
I love this model.
Well, it's time to add one more to that list.
Okay.
Golden Road. Yes, the non-craft brewery is coming right here to the Bay Area, North Oakland, to be exact.
Oh, really?
Permits filed with the city of Oakland this month show that Golden Road is planning to open a 7,000-square-foot brewery and beer garden in North Oakland, which will take up 3 lots on 40th Street between Broadway and Manila, which is about a mile away from Drake's and Temescal Brewing and some of our local actual craft breweries.
Okay.
Right.
According to this application with the Planning and Zoning Division, Golden Road tends to brew on site site, serve food, and also feature an outdoor beer garden with fire pits. They seem to be really tuning in on the hipster market because
they seem to follow the Ballast Point model.
Sure. Right. They're tuning in on the hipster beer market because the new building will be constructed from used shipping containers.
Ooh, what are those?
Yeah, that's also the new hotness. And,
bury the bodies.
This announcement comes on the heels of a similar one made by the company last year, announcing a tap room in Midtown Sacramento. Golden Road co-founder and president Meg Gill said in a statement that the company, quote, happened to have found two great markets in NorCal, direct quote, that
NorCal.
Where were these markets?
I like how you recused yourself from that terminology.
In NorCal that embraced Golden Road's, quote, flip-flop pub, which is their concept of a nano brewery made out of a container. That's their concept. That also have a both relaxed yet active outdoor atmosphere.
Flip-flop pub?
Flip-flop pub.
I can often be relaxed, next to a container.
So
shipping container.
Get ready to be relaxed yet active.
In flip-flops?
Flip-flops are optional, but in an outdoor atmosphere.
I don't know if you know this, but active relaxation is the new yoga. It's
shit.
Yeah. It comes from Tibet.
What's an outdoor atmosphere? I feel like either you're out, you feel like you're
shipping
outdoors,
containers.
but that's just outdoors.
That's an outdoor atmosphere.
But then it's a big
Isn't that just outdoors?
open area that.
They probably put some lights out there and shit.
Well, I do see.
There'll be some cornhole games.
It's just outdoors.
It's just outdoors.
But there's nothing catchy. It's got to have pizzazz.
It's got to have some zip.
Have some,
All right, well, there you go. That's the next one. Golden Road coming in our backyard.
They're paying their advertising guy.
They found a new market in Oakland.
In Oakland. Look, I don't mind. It's a free market.
It's a free market. It's a free country.
I like the idea of container ship
hipster
flip flop.
Not container.
We're opening one in San Mateo, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the container model for there is one in Sacramento that I really like. And anyhow, I'm not going to sit here and shit on them for having the money or the smarts to capitalize on a location, right?
Sure.
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Sounds like stabby brew.
It is just a dent in the armor of real craft.
Right.
People moving right into probably one of the most craftiest areas in Oakland for sure.
You know where I'd go for a fucking amazing beer garden in the Oakland area is Drake's dealership.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They have it enclosed. It's like this old brick building where
like the roof
quite literally the roof either burnt out or caved in, and John Martin, God bless his brain, was like, we don't need a roof here, this is a beer garden. And it's a cool ass beer garden with fire pits and everything else.
It's really big.
That's a good
It's
one.
got the outdoor atmosphere.
Fire pits.
Well, actually, it's just outdoors. John doesn't care about. Yeah, he's like, it's actually just outdoors.
Yeah, I'm just calling it outdoors. I'm calling it.
Okay, but it's on gravel, so it doesn't feel like you're on cement.
Well, he also doesn't
it's not
have
a parking lot.
Okay, not a parking.
He also doesn't have
when you trip and fall down, it doesn't hurt so much.
You have to scrape the gravel out.
Well, they don't have the Budweiser marketing dollars pushed behind outdoor atmosphere.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Yeah,
all right, what else you got?
All right. Cloudy beer is back in the news, but not for its challenging of the far superior clear beer trend of the past 100 years or so. Due to the rise of so-called Vermont-style IPAs, brewed by breweries not located in the great state of Vermont, some brewers are calling for government interference.
What?
Fieldwork Brewing here in the Bay Area.
I love them. Second time they come up in the news.
Has produced a New England IPA or Vermont-style IPA called The Meadows, which is listed as a, quote, Vermont farmhouse ale, despite no such style being in existence. But breweries have a fair amount of latitude with such things, so most folks don't really care. Sean Hill, owner of Hill Farmstead in Vermont, however, does care a lot. He sees the widespread use of the word Vermont as
First of all, we interviewed Sean. Great guy.
Good dude.
Yeah. Is there such a thing as the widespread use of a state name?
Hey, what about Texas barbecue? Quit that shit, man.
Oh, and
Kansas City barbecue?
It gets so much better.
Go on. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
He sees the widespread use of the word Vermont as an unfair capitalization on Vermont's brand, and questions whether it violates the state's representation of Vermont origin rule that regulates and protects the word Vermont when it appears on food products.
Really?
It was enacted in 2006, and it was a response to growing concerns that businesses outside of the state were cashing in on Vermont's reputation for products like maple syrup and cheese. By using labels or marketing that could confuse consumers into thinking products were made in Vermont.
And that would be a bad thing?
So this has to be a federal law in order for it to matter.
The rule, also called Consumer Protection Rule 120, gives a state legal footing to protect the Vermont brand, quote, and made in Vermont food products. But beer is not specifically mentioned in either text of the rule.
I don't hate this entirely. I can see the point being made where actually the point is, whether it be Vermont or something else,
or Vermont style,
you don't want to mislead consumers.
Correct.
If that is the point about misleading consumers, then I would never argue.
I think that's what he's
and so that makes sense. The actual protection of Vermont and the state brand. Do you know what state has more songs written about it than any other state?
Colorado,
California, and by far, we're not even talking close. Does that mean that artists are manipulating the popularity of the great state of California?
Yes.
I don't think so. I think they're just writing about.
Sued.
They're writing. It's an homage to our state when they write songs about that. And frankly, I don't think that Fieldwork is attempting to steal anything
of course
from.
Not. No.
In anything, it's an homage.
It's insane.
However,
that's what it is.
I don't like if there is some. Deception to the consumer about where the product is from, then I could get behind that. It's kind of like somebody using, it's kind of like trademark disputes, right? If there is confusion in the marketplace because of it, that's when disputes arise.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't think anybody in their 4 tap rooms is going to be very confused at all. They're going to
For
me,
true,
and that's
helps,
the only market.
It helps because now I know I don't want that beer.
They figured it out with...
Yeah, exactly right.
He's actually doing a service to beer.
Yes, right.
And
it's
JP.
Clearing things up for me.
No, on their menu,
or not.
On their menu, you go there, you have to ask, what's your clear, what's your hazy? Because a lot of times the names don't indicate it.
Oh, right.
In this case, it does.
It does. It's a style, yeah.
It helps.
Yeah. Thank you for the help.
Matt Cohen, owner of Fiddlehead Brewery in Shelburne, agrees with Sean Hill. He says, we have to be protective of the beers brewed in the state. I have, and a lot of others have, worked really hard to build the Vermont brand. I don't know what steps we need to take, but something needs to be done to protect the Vermont name. Even when brewers are paying tribute to a beer style that originated in a certain place, there are federal requirements for labeling. According to Sean Hill, the ATF, who regulates beer labels, well know, won't approve a label that says Belgian triple if it isn't brewed in Belgium, and that's what he kind of wants.
Okay.
Lawmakers are also concerned with protecting the Vermont brand. This is a quote from the Senate President Pro Tem Tim Ash.
Okay.
He says, "This is the first I've heard that breweries outside of Vermont are using Vermont on their beer labels. On the one hand, this mimicry highlights just how high the quality of Vermont beer making is these days."
Harumph.
Whoa, it's
well,
yeah, right. This mimicry. On the other, like with other Vermont brands, we should not and cannot allow vendors to reap financial rewards by misleading customers that Vermont craftsmanship or Vermont ingredients went into making their products. Right.
He knows what he's talking about.
They figured it out with bourbon, right? It's really here, not there, here, not there.
And it's a style. If you want to make it a style, whatever.
Right.
Here's the last quote.
They should just keep that cloudy shit in Vermont and just be done.
And keep those floaties in the bottom of those cans in Vermont, too.
Here's the last quote. Let me finish over fast.
All right.
This is from Sean. He says, "I think the state of Vermont needs to step in. It's gone too far." Hill says he has contacted Representative Samuel Young about this issue.
Sean.
So they're contacting their government because people are using their name.
Sean, I have to talk to you about something just for a second. Don't you have something to fucking do in Vermont?
That was Philworth's response.
Take a really?
There's just nothing better to do. Yeah,
I'm just feeling like, and I really like Sean. By the way, he's a nice man. But do I need to send you a puzzle, or I don't know?
No, he's in the media.
Winter's a slow time.
I hope it keeps. I think I'd like nice if a feud would happen or a lawsuit.
You're probably right.
Hey, where's all the money?
And as I'm saying, I actually agree with all of this in principle. I do have a hard time figuring out
where Vermont
who
is.
Else gives a shit? And where Vermont is, actually, the only reason I know is I'm from a nearby state.
The Connecticut place?
Yeah. But I do feel like nobody else...
nobody else gives a shit. No one cares.
Nobody cares! And... does that mean they shouldn't fight for it? No. Who am I to say you shouldn't fight for it? But also, if you croak tomorrow, are you going to feel good about this?
Is that the hill you're going to stand on?
This is always the hill I'm going to stand on.
Yeah.
This is always my standard. If I croak a week from now...
No, I mean him.
I see. But no, the principle applies.
Yes.
Is this the hill you're going to stand on? Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Or the legacy.
Sean Hill.
Right.
Okay.
Sean.
Is this the hill you're going to build your farmstead on?
Now I'm going to see Sean at the Great American Beer Festival.
He's going to punch everybody that heard this is going to come up to him and tell him about it way ahead of time.
Oh, of course. And I'm going to have to be like, Sean, it's not like you think. I sort of half defended you and half shit on you. It was not what you think.
Yeah, everybody listening, tell him that, okay? Get to the same story here.
You don't take sides, even with yourself.
That's right. I don't even do
Yeah,
that.
exactly. You lose every time that way.
I'm an equal opportunity fence sitter.
Right.
All right.
We got one more.
Okay.
Ready for it?
Is it the numbers one?
I'm
or are we done with the
exhausted
numbers?
after
This must be the Sunday
The state
paper.
of Wyoming
It's big.
is filing a lawsuit.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted after that last one.
Go ahead.
A few weeks back, we mentioned that Speakeasy Brewing out of San Francisco was shutting its doors and laying off all of their employees because it had failed to repay its primary creditor, Union Bank, and was forced to enter into an assignment for the benefit of the creditors, an agreement that some companies pursue as an alternative to bankruptcy, for those of you who don't know. 3 days later, a Los Angeles court appointed a receiver called Jigsaw Advisors to oversee the sale of the company, forcing out the brewery's owner and founder, Forrest Gray. Ooh. Well, it turns out that operations at the brewery are back up and running, albeit on a skeleton crew of only 8 employees. The reason for the revival is this. A brewery making beer looks like a better purchase than a brewery not making beer. Quote, the receiver decided that finishing off the beer in process and continuing to sell beer was the best way to get a buyer. That's from Brian Stechschulte.
Yeah, good guy.
There you go. The brewery's public relations and media director, one of the remaining employees. The receiver will entertain offers from interested buyers for the brand who have until April 14th to bid, and by April 20th, Jigsaw will choose the new owner. Meanwhile,
$1.
I got $100. I got $100 bill in my pocket.
I can make it $105.
I have $131.
And Doc had $1. So that's $132.
I got $27.
Okay.
I think I got a 5
Tasty,
spot.
what's in your pocket? You carry a wad.
I'll match what you got.
Tasty carries bail money.
Beardy, how you doing over there?
Let's see.
How you doing, Beardy?
I got a couple 20s.
Oh, shit.
Okay, come on.
Let's do
call it out.
$64.
All right, we're up to we're up to almost $400.
I'll call Jigsaw right
Beardy,
now.
you better save that. That's condom money.
I'm serious.
You might need that.
You guys
You
can
might
do
need
it.
that. Meanwhile, this might sway you, might put your wad back.
That's what we do, Teddy. We'd flip it.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a new thing? Forget houses. We're flipping breweries.
Flip this
now.
brewery.
That's going to be the new thing as they start to crash. Fucking
love it or list it.
You know what, Tasty? You don't realize.
You see, we're cash rich here.
We just polish the tanks.
Obviously, cash rich.
Polish the tanks, wash the kegs, and then flip it?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I mean, clearly I gave a hand job to somebody before the show today, because why else would I have a $100 bill in my pocket?
We should do some seminars on how to flip
120 someone.
That's how we'll make money.
No, we line all the tanks with those plastic bags.
Have you tried bags?
You don't have to clean shit.
That's just our catchphrase.
That's the new brewery. That's the new brewery name.
Brewing Network flips.
Have you tried
bags?
Tried our bags?
Meanwhile, 5 wage claims have been filed against Speakeasy, all pertaining to final pay.
Oh boy!
Such claims typically come from employees who have not received final paychecks. Debt was the main, though certainly not the only factor that led Speakeasy to its current strait.
Right.
In 2015, the brewery undertook a $7.5 million expansion, bringing its brewery capacity from 15,000 barrels to about 65,000 barrels.
Whoa.
How much debt Gray, the sole owner, incurred is unknown, but at the time he had reason to be optimistic.
Probably $7 million.
He said, "We are." He said, "This is from Stechschulte." Steck-Schulte. There you go. He said, we were at our peak. Sales grew 38% in 2014 over the previous year. In that context, growth seemed not merely opportunistic, but necessary.
Right.
That man said Forrest was planning for the future. However, since 2015, beer sales have slowed, not just for Speakeasy, but for craft nationally. Lester Jones, chief economist for the National Beer Wholesalers Association, says sales are still growing, but we're talking single-digit growth versus double. The costly expansion raised the stakes for Speakeasy. We missed the numbers, Forrest said. We just didn't perform where we had been.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and he
poor
spent
performance.
the last year and a half. Oh, so this is interesting. With sales slowing and competition intensifying, Speakeasy cut costs wherever possible, even changing the packaging for its cans, for instance, inside outside investment. So that big remarketing kind of push that was trying to find.
I don't think he did the wrong thing. I just think he didn't execute it properly. If you're going to make an I don't know. I always feel like who the
should have advertised with the BN.
Yeah.
If you're
it's like growing any business.
If you're going to spend $7 million on expansion and equipment, and you're counting on growth, how much did you spend on your sales team? You see what I'm getting at here? Like, this is what I'm saying. I don't feel that he made the wrong decision, but he executed it.
Yeah, you can't make more product and not have people to sell it because it's just going to not sell, right?
Because you're just kind of... And by the way, this actually is something I would do because I'm not the smartest businessman. Right. I would just sort of count on the trend and hope for the best,
and
right?
It's fine, right?
And I tend to get lucky, so I'm like, hey, this is great. That's not the right thing to do. That's not the right way to do it. Ballast Point didn't do that. They spent an enormous amount of money on an expansion, and then an additional enormous amount of money on a CEO who knew what the fuck he was doing with that type of expansion. Yeah, right. And they ended up selling for...
And that type of debt.
And that's right.
Yeah. You have to be able to sleep with that kind of number hanging over your head.
Here's where maybe I wouldn't be quite the idiot, and it would be based solely on the pressure of the debt. If I was going to take on debt like that, I would be so terrified of the consequences that I would stack the deck in my favor, hire the marketing team, hire the sales. Anyhow, there could have been any number of things that went wrong that were unforeseen.
Yeah.
But I do feel like this was an execution problem.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but I feel that way.
It sounds like production numbers just across the board were kind of down. There was still growth, but not as much growth as they just happened to have in 2014. Yeah. That played into it, but this is another one.
I also feel like a $7 million expansion for Speakeasy is enormous.
Yeah,
was there something?
50,000 barrels.
Was there something in between that could have reached the next step? And
I feel like you're expecting to grow 50,000 barrels. That's a lot, dude. That's a lot.
I guess when you're doing it, you're probably looking at economies of scale, and you go, okay, I could expand 50%, or I could expand 200%, and the dollar amount is nominal,
right?
And so maybe that's what happened.
Maybe it'd be interesting to talk with, but I don't know if
I don't know about this thing about growth. Like, say it's 4% instead of 12. That 8% growth thing is not what killed it. It's the fact that they couldn't ramp up and make beer fast enough and get into the market where they can make their payments.
To pay for the debt.
Because they weren't making the payments. They were 18 months behind.
So this is another reason. Unlike a newer wave of Bay Area craft breweries, which are opting to stay micro-sized and distribute only locally, Speakeasy distributes globally. 13 countries, they say. That means that it has to compete with A.B. Miller, behemoth whose power in the market is only growing.
Bullshit.
Well, this is interesting. It's putting undue pressure on craft breweries like ours, says Gray. We couldn't make high-quality beer at $6.99 a six-pack, especially not in San Francisco.
That's only true locally. Globally, I call bullshit. There is a global market. There are local craft breweries smaller than Speakeasy who can attest to this, who will buy the shit out of American craft beer.
Yeah.
So I only agree with that argument locally. When... And look, maybe breweries like Lagunitas who have the backing, when you can put out a $6.99 six-pack.
They do, $14 12-pack.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
And a Speakeasy can't, then they're right. This is a tough thing to compete with.
Well, let's make beer as good or better than Lagunitas.
But also, you look...
Correct.
Which gets to a point we got to talk about at some point.
You're right, Tasty.
What responsibility is the quality? I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about their beers.
I hear you.
I'm just saying if they were stellar, they wouldn't have a problem at all.
I think you're right, because, in fact... Well, let's say this. If they were stellar, wouldn't we be here lamenting their loss?
My God.
We would be set. In other words, If my
we do big Kickstarters to get them
my
back on their
beloved
feet.
Firestone was about to fall off the map,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here talking about the economics that David Walker and
Adam Firestone.
Thank you. I wouldn't presume to know what they did. I would just be sad that the beer would be going missing.
Yeah. Well,
so,
right.
Tasty, your point is taken.
Yeah, the beer.
You
I mean,
also
I'm not saying
got
about
to
it.
keep up with the market in terms of quality as well.
I mean, yeah, it is
packaging.
Yeah, I mean, nobody in here is asking how it happened.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
But
yeah.
you also throw a
Yeah.
rock at some of these breweries. The speakeasy is everywhere in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So how do you? So that
how
was
could you not
baffling.
maintain that?
That's
Yeah,
what I don't
yeah,
understand,
yeah,
and that's what I would really love to find out if I would be smart enough to actually talk to the dude and
Or
ask
even
these
to
questions.
talk.
Or even to talk. Period. I mean, periodic shit.
Yeah.
And the $6.99.
I'm just happy you read this week.
The $6.99 case argument doesn't really hold water much, even in the local area. How much are people still paying for Sculpin?
Oh, yeah, I know. But that's an exception to the rule.
Well, no,
and-
but I'm saying...
By the way, your mom doesn't hold water, okay?
That's not what she told... Wait a second.
I don't even know what this means. But that is an exception to the rule. They invented the $15 six-pack, and they're still killing it.
But if
that will
the beer,
eventually
if the
crash.
beer is good, there's still plenty of people that will pay $10 a six-pack.
You're right. And that's...
Well,
yeah.
to be fair, they invented the $18.99 six-pack and then dropped it to $12 over 2 years. So
yeah,
okay. So
I invented
craft beer is in trouble.
I invented the let people send you free beer model. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I did know that.
Thank you.
I have a cake of Sculpin at home.
Party at my house.
Macro beer. I never thought you would stop drinking craft beer, sellout.
All right. JP, thank you for the news. Those are excellent stories.
Thank you very much, my friend. We also have a Twitter game. And see, there was the shout-out.
What?
Thank you.
Oh, he did have a thank you.
He had a thank you. And
I
he
had
just
another one.
delivered.
What was
so
the
thank
thank
you
you?
very much.
I want to thank the Pacific Northwest Home Brewers Conference for having me up to to hang with them.
How did it go?
The talk, it went great. What a great event. So well run.
We got to go.
Jill just killed it.
Good.
It was like going to the BrewCon.
Yeah.
And and the experience that they've got doing it. Yeah, it was great.
I am so sorry that we had to miss it.
Me
JP,
too.
we will go. Jill, I promise you, I can't, of course, promise you it's next year. I promise you I will try my best that it's next year. I did not mean to miss your festival, and I'm glad you had a good time.
Here's some beer news. You'll be there next year because that's where the National Home Brewers Conference is.
Oh!
In Portland next year.
It is?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I'm not on the board anymore. I'm like, how come I didn't know that? I'm like, wait, because I'm in a meeting in a year.
The Pacific Northwest Home Brewers Conference is going to skip a year because of that.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
You're not just get melded
It's the same people are going to be doing both of them.
God, I like their attitude. So you had a good time?
I had a great time. They were just wonderful.
Okay. Did you get a handy or anything? Like,
or some sort of foot job?
I was too much associated with certain people that might
I understand.
incriminate them.
That's fine. That's fine. Fair enough.
You can confirm nor deny.
Some sort of JOI? Like, well, come on.
What is that?
What?
I don't like. Do I look like I'm talking?
Is that like holding water?
Don't tell me.
It's
Don't
like
tell me.
holding
I'm gonna figure it out.
All right, so Wheeler Walker.
I'm gonna come back next. I'm gonna report back next week, and I'm gonna tell you what that
Research
is.
JOI.
So this JOI thing.
Fucking love it.
I've been doing it all week.
That's the next Twitter game.
All right, what was our Twitter game, JP?
That's a fucking good question. I wanted to have the BN Army decide on an off flavor.
Yes.
For beer.
Yes.
And then name it after us.
Yes. Yes.
So Mitch says, beer fault is called OJ syndrome when a perfectly good IPA looks more like pulpy orange juice than beer.
Okay. I like it.
Left of the dial says petricide.
Petrocide?
Undercarbonated homebrew by way of a jacked up homemade hack of a beer gun, which is what I did.
Okay.
I jammed my fucking bottle filler up into my fucking faucet and tried to seal it with Teflon tape, and that's how all my beers.
Yeah.
Really?
And he's worried about freshness.
I feel
yourself.
they
No
taste
wonder he
great.
can't sleep at night.
I had one the other day. It tastes great.
Oh, good. That's what.
So
that's
confused.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Live it out a day on
This
this.
is what happens when you're in the hospital for years.
Wasn't in the hospital. God.
Here's one of your thyroid they took
It's
out?
on the roids.
Slop Bucket Brews says intermittent flavor disorder. 2 seconds of taste, 2 seconds of taste, or 2 seconds of no taste, just like your live feed for the last week.
Wait, what's that guy's name?
Slop. It's the guy who's been writing Slop Bucket Brews.
Bitching about the live feed?
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Let me read his email.
All right.
And here's why. And it's not that he's wrong. We had issues. We have issues with the feed. Essentially, occasionally the software just sort of slows down.
Oh, speed.
And God damn it, what's his name?
I don't know. I just only have it on Twitter.
Name someone.
I can't find him. Anyhow, he just wrote the snottiest email. That was like, and then I'm not going to donate because it seems like a hobby over there. And I just was like,
it is.
But I was also on the steroids, so I didn't want to respond to anything. Yes, because I read his email and I was like, "Oh, you piece of shit! I got to think."
I'm coming to this computer right now.
So I'm like avoiding saying anything. But what I wanted to say was, I don't want your fucking money. Keep your fucking money,
right? And your opinions.
And by the way, you haven't donated up until now. Clearly, if you're going to keep withholding, so keep getting your free fucking. All right, now I'm roid raging.
Feeling the rage come in. That's good. Feel it inside you. Feel it grow inside you.
That's that roid grease.
Carry on, please. I wish I could find it. I'll keep looking for his email.
That ramped up really quick.
That escalated.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
I think the roids are still in him.
They must be. I weaned off, Tasty.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, you got some
I bet he's sneaking them.
Yeah, you got a little fat on you. That's where they hang out.
Yeah, it's seeping out my belly fat. Go ahead.
On your forehead.
All right. Mark Wilson says, Nicolium. Crisp, lemony zip aroma. Beer finishes too high. Eliminated via misogyny and fun.
I like it.
I love that one.
Nicolium.
Jacob Mitchell says Jipism, where your IPAs turn out cloudy as fuck.
Jipism. That's two on the Jip front.
Apparently. And then Blobberglop says Nutterness, a light, delicate fromage aroma with a hint of taint sweat saltiness. Apparently appropriate in some shitty Grodzitskis.
Was it Nutterness?
Nutterness.
Okay.
Nutterness.
All right.
And there you go. That's the roundup.
Well, I'll tell you, the description wasn't my favorite, but the name Petricide is just perfect.
It's pretty good.
I mean, that's just. What was the description of that again?
Undercarbonated homebrew by way of a jacked up homemade hack of a beer gun.
Okay, well that's not too bad.
It's not bad.
That's show relevance. Yeah.
That's my favorite. What do you think, guys?
Well, what about Nicole? What's that?
I do like. Was it Nicolium?
Nicolium.
Okay.
Eliminated by misogyny and fun.
Yeah, the description on Nicolium is better. So now we've got two things. We have a great name, Petricide, and a great description in Nicolium. I don't know where to go with that.
Neither do I.
Well, why don't we just vote on the two?
All right.
Yeah. Are those our top? Anybody else have?
I'm good.
I think those are the better
fine.
ones.
All right. Let's start with Nicolium. Raise your hand if that's your vote. We got two votes Nicolium. Raise your hand if it's Petricide.
Sure.
We got 4 votes Petricide.
There we go. Yay for me.
Yeah. I think Monsanto might have a product by that name. So.
Nicolium or Petricide?
It's GMO free though.
I'm still looking for that.
No, that's DuPont.
Still looking for that goddamn.
I'm going to find that email.
Fucking here. So, oh! I found it! All right, this fucking guy.
It's 2 lines.
There we go.
Can we respond to him on the air?
I know, it's 2 lines.
It's 2 lines. Got you that shot.
You got it right in your ass.
It's just the sheer dickheadness of it. Okay, here we go. Good job, ...
Fuck you.
Every 2 weeks, the feed fucks up. Like again this weekend. Does no one monitor this? Not donating when there is no quality control. Sorry. Love your shows, but seems like it's a hobby to you guys. And that, I'm just out in my backyard smoking one night, and I read it, and I just was like, you piece of shit.
Well, and so he tweeted it, which is what I was asking you about when I first said that. No, not that, but like sort of like mention the thing, and he tagged our guest in it.
What the? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you fucking serious right now?
I swear to God.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. And so I just replied back. I was like, oh, to everybody.
And he wrote into the Twitter game tonight?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So, you're not, maybe not roiding now, but you're revisiting your roid rage of the other night.
Justin's about to smash.
Oh, inside, he's on fire right now.
I was like,
wow.
Oh, yeah, well, thanks. Hey, it should be cleared up
40,000
now.
listeners and one asshole.
Why? But why would you tag our guest? Like,
Because he's an asshole.
You know what? Let me tell you something, Slop Bucket.
If that is your real name.
Now you're, I know you feel close to us because you listen and you can talk shit because that's what we do. But, but now you're also so you're affecting my livelihood and the livelihood of Jason Petros.
That's true. That's true.
I'm going to use your real names now so people realize that fucking people are affected by this thing.
Yeah.
You're affecting the livelihood of Jason Petros.
Thank you.
Beverly Moore. Mike McDowell, Scott Lothamer, Warren, what's his name?
Beardy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Someone.
Beardy. That's one thing. We put ourselves out there, right? So I'll take it. I just want you to know you're still affecting it. But then to tag a guest who is really just, they're honored to be on the show. They get a little publicity out of it. By the way, they don't know what the fuck you're talking about in terms of streaming something or nothing or whatever.
Right.
And
they're our guests.
So you're sitting there on your little fucking lazy boy that has cigarette fucking stains in it and piss mold and I don't know what else.
The full ashtray, the beanbag ashtray.
Because this is the picture I have of your shitty fat ass listening to this program, angry about the fact that the live stream didn't work. Meanwhile, there's 12 years worth of shows that you can fucking download that work perfectly.
Well, that's effort.
And so you're going to call out the guest and everything else in a tweet? I don't understand what you get out of this.
It's the passive Twitter where if I tag the guest, then they're going to pay attention. Like, we weren't paying attention before, and he was like, I've been emailing and tweeting for 2 weeks. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Obviously, you haven't, because last week or 2 weeks ago, I called you, Justin, when it happened. Somebody emailed me about this, and I fixed it in 10 minutes after I had the email.
What happens is the software has a glitch, and if it's and after it runs for a little while, if no one does a refresh, if we do shows frequently, it refreshes itself because we hit stop and start. And
right, okay.
If there is a little lull in shows, it does not reset itself.
Right.
And it's a bug in the software that has not been fixed. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's the software.
Right.
And
if nobody's here to fix it, then nobody's here to fix it.
All right, I'm going to let this one go.
All right. But you can't say you're going to let it go because you just did it.
Dude, you already did it. Now it's like, okay.
You've been squeezing the life out of him.
He's been off the roids.
I hate this fucking guy right now. I don't know that I've ever said that about a listener before. I hate this guy. I'm about to block his IP. I don't want don't ever donate to me. Slop Bucket, I see your name I have your email address. If you don't ever donate to this program. I don't want your money. Keep your fucking money.
It's just, don't
set up the newsletter.
Aggressive social media thing.
Right. There's no roids in your system anymore, right?
No, I finished on Saturday. This guy just that's a button. Like, fuck you.
No.
With the tagging of the guest, that was it. Oh. All right.
I love social media.
I was having such a nice time.
Oh, yes, you were.
Oh, you're having a great time.
Let's go get a beer.
And then the drunk of the week guy?
He wins.
Yeah, fuck him.
Whatever.
I mean, thanks for calling.
He wins.
What are you going to send him?
He wins and loses.
What was his name? Slop Bucket?
Joe wins. Yeah,
Slop Bucket. Joe Slop Bucket.
Oh, gee. Oh, for God's sake.
I'm going to name my first kid Slop Bucket. And I'm going to make you the godfather.
Oh, God. Don't do it, JP. Don't do it. I'll have to show up. I'll be all angry.
Yeah.
This is just a stupid kid. That's just with your name. With your name.
With your name. Even your name.
And your lineage.
Fuck off.
Stop it with your cute little fucking... Your name sucks.
Rabble rap.
Yeah. Harumph. All right, should we get out of here?
Yeah,
please.
Yeah,
I got pizza to eat.
I'm going to go outside and yell.
I'm peeing now.
I'm going to go out in the courtyard, and I'm going to put my head in the fountain, and I'm going to scream at the top of my lungs.
You're also going to get hepatitis.
And cholera.
And cholera.
And
the screaming will keep the hepatitis out.
And more steroids.
Bucket.
So it's a fucking win-win for everybody.
That's
That's
a
true.
win.
I really do want
Can
more
we just
steroids.
keep you on steroids?
Yes, please. I need it, and clearly, but also it gave me a lot of energy. It was fantastic.
You know what else does that?
Slop Bucket.
Meth.
I know, but there's a lot more side effects to that, and before you know it, I'll be fucking...
What?
Before you know it, I'll be blowing Slop Bucket for another fix, so...
That's true. All right, let's go.
Fucking asshole. Stupid name. I don't even know what you do.
Thank you to our show sponsor, More Beer. You can get absolutely everything you need to make great beer at home by going to morebeer.com. Ben from Basqueland Brewing Project woke up in the middle of his night to hang out with us and fill us in on the Spanish beer scene. Learn more about his beers over at basquebeer.com.
Get a life.
Merge your love of Disneyland with your lack of engaging podcasts and go to earsuppodcast.com as JP, Terrence, Bevo, and Taryn talk about all things Disney.
Isn't that like a new hobby?
Go check out Moscow's Hop Cartoons over at hoplifestore.com.
Idiot. Asshole.
Get on Twitter for some good beer insight and homebrew info. Follow Nate Smith at Nathan Homebrew, Mike McDowell at Tasty McD, Warren being stuck over at Another Beardy, and the great Beverly is crushing cyberspace at Bevo1. JP thinks Twitter is dead, and you should follow him on Instagram at Major Jip so he can become an influencer without showing cleavage. Today's show is produced by Bev, and your host has been the mystical, magical Justin. Be sure to find us on social media.
As great as his charity